Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a somewhat earlier hobby live stream. I am, of course, Angela, the host of Hobby Night, and today I am going to be building more tiny men. We're actually almost done with the Space Marines, though, so today is actually going to end up being a little bit focused on building the Solar Auxiliar. Is that what they're called? The Solar Auxilia. Sorry, I said it slightly wrong. The Solar Auxilia infantry and all of their fun. I mean, we might build some we might just start with their tanks, honestly, because the tanks I find a bit more entertaining to build. But we will get to them after we conclude. I get this piece of paper off my hand. After I conclude building my last squad of support legionnaires with missile launchers, which are the fiddliest of them to build because they're the actual infantrymen that don't have all of their weapons attached to them. So I actually have to glue part of the missile launcher to them, and both pieces are tiny. So it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. However, I have found that using these lovely soft tipped, like plastic tipped tweezers has been very helpful in getting, like, basically stabilizing the Marine, and so I can just tack on the gun. So hopefully it'll go smoothly. It won't take too long. Let's get into it. I have an echo? Why do I have an echo? Is my...
That's music.
Yeah, I was gonna say that should be music.
Test, test. There should be no echo. I'm switched over to a different microphone. And then we're going to switch back.
Hello, hello. Is there an echo now? Let me know.
If that continues to be an issue, we'll just go back to the other mic.
Yeah. Just waiting to see a response in chat.
Well, you kind of have to keep talking.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I will keep talking, absolutely. Let's make sure there's not still an echo or anything like that. Hopefully not. Hopefully we fixed it. Not sure why that would be happening. Oh my gosh, there's 14 of you already. Yeah, do let me know if the echo is still occurring, chat. Obviously, I don't want that to be... It's okay? No echo now? Okay, good. All right, good. I don't know if I'm going to be cosplaying Rogue again on stream specifically anytime soon. The problem is the last time I cosplayed Rogue was because I was doing something tied to Rogue for content. And so I tend to only cosplay if it's going to be tied to something specific, or like for one example, when I did Jinx, I put that costume on because I knew I was going to be starting that stream with the unboxing of her giant Nerf gun that I had picked up, so like it was thematic to it. And then the last time I did Rogue was, I believe, when I painted up Rogue and Gambit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, when I painted up Rogue and Gambit. So I have to have an excuse in order to cosplay. The only one that you'll get like without any prompting would be probably a Sister of Battle, because I can make any excuse to have a Sister of Battle on the channel because we're so originally very Warhammer focused. I mean, I can't say that we're not still. We are literally going to be building some Space Marines today, but that's what it is. All right, I'm really glad the echo is there. Yeah, no problem.
Is there?
Or sorry, the echo is no longer there. I misspoke there. Hello, Mr. J. It's lovely to see you. Metallica Kind, it's lovely to have you in chat. You don't hear any echo? Okay, sweet. Really glad to hear it. It must have been something when we first got started or whatever.
I was just using the same input twice.
Oh, that is entirely possible. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to desktop so you guys can see what we're working on today, which is emptiness. Actually, what we're working on is the Plasma Boys. So just to show you on the instructions real quick, we're going to be building our last squad here, and then the actual... Ooh, actually, hold on. I'm kidding. We're going back to here for 1 second because I can move you guys down. No, look at the table. There we go. Look at them all. So I've got my 2 Sicarans, I've got my 3 Predators. I do have a plan to magnetize the Predators, by the way. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I think I might have a way to secure that, because while the tops do sit in pretty decently, they do also still want to pop out. Like the command one is actually the most secure, but these 2 were really loose. So I kind of want to secure them more into place. Then we have our first squad of our Plasma Boys. We have 2 squads each of our Assault Marines. These ones are, I believe, are heavy weapons. I think they're melta-guns. I can't remember now, but they're some sort of like heavy weapon. Then we have some Terminators. That are these little guys right here. They're so cute. Look at them. Look how tiny they are. Oh, the best Terminators ever, because they're the smallest. And then we have 2 squads of 5 each of just basic boys with command units in front of them. I guess technically it's 4 squads of basic boys with 2 command units in front of them is technically how it'd be. And then here's my Titan. I've collected all of his arms into there, and I will finish magnetizing him at some point. Come up to me, camera. Refocus on my face. There you go. There you go. It did it. All right. Let me switch us back over to desktop and we'll get clipping. I have put all of my sprues away when I was doing some cleanup. So I do need to find... Okay, this is the sprue that is essentially empty with exceptions of a couple of the command, like jump pack boys left over. Although I do have one of the missile launchers there. So I'll snip that out. Oh, and actually, I think this is one of his... $25. Is $25 one that I use? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. All right, so $25. All right. 20 is a normal guy, 13 is a normal guy, or jump pack boy, and 17 is a jump pack boy. Okay, so that sprue is basically empty except for extra bits. Oh my gosh, these are... They're a little bit of a challenge. Shadow Pig, I will absolutely admit that working on these very, very tiny little guys has been a bit of a challenge. In fact, I think it's a challenge that Chaos Cultist doesn't want to deal with. That's why I'm going to end up building.
I'll do it.
No. I'm just teasing you.
I'll do it.
I know that you'll do it. I know that because I've called you out now, you'll... but no, it's fine. I actually am looking forward to it. It'll be fun. All right, I'm going to have one of him, and then we're going to do the others... These guys, because I've already worked with those a bunch. Oh God, where did he go? Oh, he fell onto the ground. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Are you losing my guys?
No, I'm losing my guys. Calm down. I'm working on the Space Marines first. I have 1 squad left to do. I know you didn't hear me because you have headphones on, so...
Who does?
You do.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, where are they?
Oh, you did have headphones on earlier.
Okay, well, I don't have them on now.
Oh my God, Never mind, I'm a liar.
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sitting here without headphones on. She's like, you have headphones on. I'm like,
okay, the last time I looked up at him, he had headphones on, so I didn't think he was able to hear me super well.
yes.
Well, fine. Then you have no excuse to not have heard that
Are
I
you
had...
making a habit of, like, trash-talking me when I have headphones on? Is that what I'm learning?
No.
It sounded like what you were...
No, what I was trying to give you an excuse to not have heard that I said already that I was going to be working on a singular squad of Space Marines first and then working on the Guardsmen.
No, I heard you say that.
Okay.
But then you trash-talked me, and I was like, what the hell, man?
Oh. I wasn't trying to trash talk you. You would flip the whole table. I would get very mad at you if you flipped this table while I was working on these. Because then I'd lose everything, or the ones that I had built might break apart, and I'd be very angry.
You'd also break your computer and most of our filming equipment.
It's true. I understand, though. If it was your own table, you'd flip it, and you'd just be like, I'm done. I get it. You know, it's not actually been that bad, and building the tanks I found very fun. There's also, I personally, and maybe this helps me get over it, but like I personally find a lot of joy in the scale and volume of this game. And by that I mean, like, everything feels like very appropriately scaled to each other. So like all the Marines look great next to the tanks as well as the Titan. The Guardsmen look even smaller next to the Marines, and then they look even smaller next to their tanks and all that. So like everything feels appropriate, but then at the same time, one of the things that I lament in the larger scale versions of some of these games, for example, like 40K or even Horus Heresy, I think captures it a little bit better because, again, they just had more scale to play with back then.
Horus Heresy, the same way that this game is sort of aimed at we expect you are collecting this because you're a nerd. There is also a game, but you're mostly collecting this because you want to have the entire army of...
Yeah, you want to have the Legion
of Horus
or whatever. I agree. And well, but I was also going to say, like, I feel like you are encouraged in Horus Heresy themed things, this and the normal game, to have to mix and match, like bringing in Titans with your Marines or with your Guard or whatever, or your Mechanicus, etc. And so you end up having just a lot of height difference on your table when you're actually playing, which in 40K, I feel like most of the time you either have, like, they all end up being two sizes. They're either infantry sized or they're tank sized. Like, you don't get...
You get walkers.
But walkers, like, I feel like are roughly the same height as the tanks.
I'm talking like Ogren and...
I guess so. Like, I guess you get some Terminators and stuff in there too, a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't feel quite as...
Oh, no, it's not as much. It's because you're going from only, to use the scaling system of Legion Imperialis. Most of the time, you are only seeing things up to size 2, maybe size 3.
Yeah.
Whereas in Imperialis, you're almost always seeing everything from size 1 through 4.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is, like, I like all the various size differences in this game. It just gives me a better sense of the immensity that is the war in the 41st millennium. I feel like 40K battles always end up feeling...
I would like to correct her right now, just for the men out there, 31st millennium.
Oh, sorry, you're right. The 31st millennium. Sorry, you're right. You're right. We are talking Horus Heresy. But I mean, but even then, like, in 40K, though, in the 41st millennium, they still make them seem like there are these battles with all these various scales, and I just don't feel like it's captured as much in the tabletop version as it is in the Horus Heresy versions.
Yeah.
Quantity is a quality all its own. You're absolutely right, Gordon.
What was that, Stalin?
I don't know.
I think it was Stalin.
It does sound like something.
Yeah, it's either Stalin or Lenin.
Yeah, one of the two of them.
It's Stalin.
Oh yeah, because it would be referring to
the Soviet
military. Yeah, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, almost cleaned up all the way. Ow! I just stabbed myself. Ow!
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's... Yeah.
Like, do you need a Band-Aid?
No, I don't need a Band-Aid. I just, like, made a nice little indent on my finger because of him. I'm showing chat the nice indent of the Marine.
You know, I was looking at a picture. Someone was putting the Legion Imperialis next to the old, like, 80s and 90s Epic. Epic guys were half the height.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they are smaller.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What the f... That's insane. Like, that is legit, like, oh, that I could not, that would cause me to flip the table. Them being half the size of these guys? No way. Oh my god. How did you even do any detail on them?
No. But see, you can see, like, this is...
They are tinier.
Yeah.
Is it that they're tinier or that they've just
No, they're
over.
shorter.
Well,
look, you can literally see.
well, yes, yes. So I see. So, but like, it's still the same scale. They just have made Space Marines taller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the thing that I was starting
It's the same thing that they did with 40K like years ago, where the Space Marines started to grow, and I mean before the Primaries.
Yeah. Where everybody started to get like longer legs.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to warn chat, by the way. I do have my cell phone on. There's a chance my P.O. box might call me about a delivery, and if that happens, I need to answer it and talk to them about it, because I'm heading there today later. It's actually why we're doing this earlier stream, is because I'm expecting a delivery later, and I want to make sure I can get to it. And actually, I want to check and see if I can see where it's at. Interesting. Okay.
What?
Oh, one of the apps I'm using isn't able to track the package, and I'm like, ugh. It's because so there are these lovely apps out there that will allow you to track packages coming in.
Yep.
But they need it, like the Amazon ones, they need like a specific link. And so if somebody else bought you something off of Amazon, I don't think you...
This is such a first world
It is
problem.
such a first...
I have no pity for it.
I have no pity for myself either. I'm just annoyed that I can't... that they've blocked me.
Whine.
I am whining, yes.
Okay.
Listen, it's my channel. I'm allowed to do what I want. Yes, it's a very first world problem. I'm
I
sorry.
have to keep you humble.
You do. Chat also does.
Sure.
Yes, they do.
Chat does not keep you humble.
Chat, tell him that you keep me...
You can't even say it with a straight face.
I can't. You're right.
I know.
Fine. But yeah, so if you hear my phone go off, that's why. I'm not just being an unprofessional.
No, you are.
What?
Keep me humble.
Fine.
No.
Fine, I guess I'm being unprofessional.
Oh,
No,
God.
I'm kidding. All right, let's get some glue on here. I talked about this a little bit on an Instagram post recently, but I've been really liking the you know how often let me start the sentence over so it actually makes sense. You know how oftentimes when you are gluing something, the instructions will occasionally, or people will tell you, whether it be the written instructions or just somebody giving you advice, they'll be like, put the little bit of glue on both sides, especially when it comes to like plastic glue, where it's literally melting the plastic and creating a like gooey adhesion. I have never been more grateful for that advice and that I actually follow it in gluing these tiny plasmarine boys, because the piece would not stick if I didn't do a double tap. Like if I didn't tack both sides, I just don't think I'd get them together and be able to fiddle with it. So we're going to make sure we tap both sides that we want to adhere with glue. And this brush tip applicator makes this whole process way more controlled. So my glue, because like these pieces are tiny, right? My glue isn't going everywhere, thankfully. Like I'm able to actually deliberately put it where I want it to go. And it's great. I love it. I wish all glues had that applicator brush. I know all glues cannot have that applicator brush because the applicator brush would just melt. But damn it, I wish they could. He is on fire today, isn't he?
month.
It has been... God, it really has.
Like, December was pretty good, and then January sucked.
Yeah. Ooh. There we go. There we go. Everything's into place. Now that that's done, we can gently pop these out. Boop. And he can dry. Check my other chat. Oh.
OF messages?
Yeah, that's probably what he means. I'm checking. I'm also making sure to keep the phone out of... Oh my gosh, I hope this works. Okay, hold on. Ooh! Okay, good. I hope it gets there between... I hope it gets there between 1:45 and 4:45, because I don't know if they'll be open still after 5, because it's a P.O. box. But that's great. Thank you, Metallica Kind.
Well, the delivery driver will know that.
Yeah, listen, sometimes they're dumb and they don't. And they get there and they're like, we were unable to deliver it. And I'm like, well, no shit. It's a P.O. box address, you dumbass. You're going to the post office.
It's because it's some, gig worker.
I know. Fear is a terrible thing. All right, that's okay though. Hopefully this will work. Maybe this will let them... Maybe this will do the thing. All right. Did that work? No. No.
That's how you delivered it.
I did. Yeah, no, it's still, gosh, stupid apps. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Listen, I warned my PO box that this thing was coming because I know what it is. It's a very large package. And I told them, I'm like, it's gonna be big. Please call me when it gets here. I will deal with it immediately. I mean, and the immediacy of me getting over there in about an hour and a half. Oh. Okay, let's keep gluing. Let's keep gluing. I feel like not Dora the Explorer, but Dory the fish. Her name was Dory, right? I haven't watched Finding Nemo in like ages, and now I'm like second guessing myself. Tiny pieces gluing tiny space marine pieces together. Please, arm, please. You're almost in there. You were kind of doing what I wanted you to do, and then you stopped. There you go, buddy. Okay. Now let's reinforce. The struggle here, and I don't know how much you can see it because they're so gosh darn small. So the plasma, the missile launchers, these aren't plasma guns. Angela, don't be dumb. They're not plasma. Stop focusing. I want a plasma gun in real life is I think what I'm really stuck on them. I'm thinking about Pascal and his plasma guns. There we go. Okay, he's in. So the problem is these missile launchers. They are missile launchers.
Rocket launchers.
Missile launchers, according to the text in the book.
If you call them missile launchers, they're gonna miss. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god, fine. Rocket launchers, whatever. They actually connect in two portions to the body of the Marine. There's the part with his hand that's actually holding like the front part up. Like if here's my missile launcher. It's I guess it's which arm is it? It's this one. So it's this arm that's bracing here, and then this arm is just part of the gun. And so there's a connection point here, and then there's a connection point on the shoulder. And the connection point on the hand is very small, very fiddly, and doesn't like to line up properly. Hence the struggle. But it's okay. We're all strugglers here. I don't remember. What is his name? It's not Doug. It's
In what?
the guy who calls everybody strugglers.
Travis.
Travis? Is that his name? Okay, yeah. What is his channel name?
Isn't it called Travis Scott or something like that? I don't
It
know.
might be. I can't remember now.
What was his name?
I don't actually remember. I just like we
Sorry,
put.
I don't.
No, it's okay. But that's what I. I just ripped him off. It's fine. Because every time I hear the word strugglers, that's who I think of. Branding. He did a good job. Okay, let's see if we can do this a little bit. Oh my god. We did it in a first go, chat. Yes. All right, let's reinforce a little bit. Let's reinforce the wrist. Okay. Yeah. And drop. Here are the other two, by the way. I realize they're off camera, but there they are. All right, we have one more of the normal guy, and then this other dude actually has his arm out, so I guess there's only one connection point. We'll find out. We'll find out together. All right. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm going to close out a little bit. The fumes to the glue is a little strong today.
You want me to open the window?
No. I think it's just because I stuck my face earlier, like kind of directly into it a little bit. Like a foolish took. Oh, no, Angela, don't be dumb. Tack the other side. We literally just talked about this. There you go. There you go. All right, chat. Can we do it? No, we didn't do it again. I didn't get it immediately perfectly into position. Oh. But I did almost do it on the first go again. Nice. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. You know, after the fourth one or something, it starts to go a little smoother. I feel like I have too much glue on there. Okay, there we go. He will sit in place. And now let's figure out this guy, because like his arm is out. He's holding... Oh, an os... Oh my god, it's a tiny auspex. Oh. Can I show you this? Hold on. Do you see? Hold on. It's the tiniest. It doesn't want to focus on it. There we go. It's the. Oh, fuck, I moved. Oh. It's the tiniest auspex reader. That's so small. I need to do a little cleanup on it, apparently. Did they put a sprue connection point on that point? They did, didn't they? All right, I cleaned it up with my fingernail, thankfully. That is the smallest little piece of equipment. I had to zoom. Look how long it's taking me to refocus on my hands. There we go. So tiny. I would recommend, by the way, if you are going to hold these miniatures like this to help stabilize them, make sure you're doing it with a plastic or soft tweezer, not metal ones, because the metal ones, the pressure is going to put so much like strain on the plastic of your miniature that it will leave an indent. I just want to call that out for anybody who might want to build Legion Imperialis in the future. Use this as an idea. Make sure you're doing it with some sort of plastic tweezer, not a metal one. Or plastic tipped tweezer. Like, obviously this still has some metal to it, but the tips are much softer on this plastic. It's not going to dent it. Or at least I haven't noticed any denting yet. I see. So this one's going to be angled down because he's looking at the Auspex reader. Got it. Okay, so that arm there, and then... Okay, so that like that, and then we're going to bring this back into view. Ah, okay. I'm not sure why they had to make me glue this one on when the arm isn't touching, but that's fine. Does that look correct? I guess it does. Looks correct from the back. There we go. He's reading his little Auspex. Being like, where is the enemy? I must purge them. All right. Find a base. That one looks good to me. Auspex guy is going to be in the front, so I should probably let him dry a little bit. Okay, in that case, actually, this has been on for about 30 minutes. Let me go back to full face. I'm going to let these guys dry a smidge. I'm going to close up my glue. And when they're done, we'll come back to the top-down view. And actually, I'll do a little bit of cleanup here with my vacuum as well. Exactly. There we go. I've been watching a couple of battle reports of people playing. Oh my gosh, I just smacked my microphone again. Hopefully it didn't like rattle you guys too much. But I've been watching people play and I'm really actually quite excited. I think it's gonna be quite a lot of fun. Again, the scale is really what does it for me.
Always is.
I mean, he's not wrong. All right, I think the glue should be tacked in enough that we are fine. Let me grab Auspex boy. Put some glue on the bottom of his base. Move it around, get that activation, that melting process starting to go. And then we'll just stick him there. No, so I guess I should switch back, shouldn't I? There we go. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna press him down a little bit. Try not to press on the arm so that we don't bend it loose. Ooh, you are definitely leaning the wrong way. No, stop twisting. Step it. All right, there we go. Next Marine. It's the gunner, not the gun, CC. It's the gun. Trust me. I mean, it's both. But I like them big. The larger the weapon, the more into it I am. The bigger the boom. God.
What?
That was me dropping him. Sorry. Tell me where to shoot, brother. My missiles are ready. No, Gordon, I'm so sorry. Don't sob in the corner. It's okay. It's all right. Can't help it, though. It's just the way I feel. I appreciate you guys putting up with my nonsense. Okay. And then finally our last Marine to go onto a base. And the first portion, or the first half of our starter set
It's almost done.
Ah! It's almost done, yes.
Because you haven't finished the Titan.
It's almost done, yes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just struggling to put this last guy
You
on.
keep screaming in ways that are startling.
Well, I'm an entertainer, and I've been told that I need to be entertaining sometimes.
To be remarkable, you must do things.
Remarkably.
Worth being remarked upon.
Yes. And my my screams, very worth being remarked upon.
Like,
Today? No, Gordon, definitely not. You're not the first today. Okay. So outside of the Titan, which is going to be identical to the other Titan, which is the main reason I haven't finished him yet, is because I want to do both of their arms together so that I can make sure that that all just sits and works well. So I'm going to call the Marines done. I have a tiny bit of magnetization to do still. Oh no, did you guys glue together? Well, fuck. Maybe that weight will just keep it in. Honestly, I think it does. You know, I could still probably... Oh, I'm so annoyed that got stuck. Not these ones. That would be a bad one to do this with. I should probably grab some of the metal ones. For strength. Nope. Not those ones. Oh, ow.
you okay?
Yep, I bumped my knee.
You are all kinds of problems.
Listen, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Okay. Yeah, you're stuck in there, aren't you? Curses. All right. Well, that's fine. The weight will keep it down, which is really the thing I was wanting. Because it's so loose. Do you fall out now? Hey, it doesn't actually fall out now, which is really what I was going for. So maybe if I just put some weight in these ones too, with a few magnets, it'll be fine. Okay. So yeah, honestly, I really feel good about where the Space Marines are at. The Titan has a little bit more to do on him, but it's not much, and I will do that when I build the other Titan. So, what would you guys want to see? It's the glue. Oh yeah, it's definitely, no, it's definitely the glue. The normal adhesive worked too strongly. It was too much for it. Do you want me to build some Leman Russes? Or do you want me to work on infantry?
Leman Russ.
Leman Russ. Well, Chaos Cultist said it, and it's his army, so Leman Russ it is. Let's build a Leman Russ. That's not the Leman Russ. These are the Leman Russes. If I'm not a complete fake geek girl and not able to identify a Leman Russ, but I'm pretty sure I have identified the Leman Russ correctly. Maybe I didn't. Are those the Malcadors? I thought they were. I thought the Malcador was bigger than the Leman Russ.
It is.
What is this?
What did the instructions?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where? Okay, so the Malcador Squadron. Did they give me a layout of? No, of course they don't. Okay, I think these are the Malcadors. So I think I am right.
Yeah, it comes with 2 Malcadors and 4 Leman Russes.
Okay, the thing that's throwing me off is the perspective on the treads on these Malcadors in the book look way shorter than the actual shape of the tread on the sprue.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was completely throwing me off because it didn't look right. It looked too short, and I was like, wait, but both of these look like they're the same. It looks more like that. Like, it's not the right interior detailing, obviously, which is the main reason I think I've identified it. But like, okay, I wasn't being dumb. I can in fact identify a Leman Russ. All right, that's what I thought. Well, in that case, let's start building one. And by one, I mean 4. Because
there's 2 Malcadors, 4 Leman Russes.
Yeah, we're working on the Leman Russes first. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is clip out 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5, because apparently they each have different fronts, which is kind of cool, actually. There's also a random bit of tape there. All right, number 1. I wonder if they're going to be actually different shapes, or if they're just different numbers, but they're all the same piece. We'll find out when I start clipping them. All right, so those are our ones. Just going to put all of the pieces, 4 different piles, where you can actually see them. Would be preferred. There we go. All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5. They are, in fact, identical. Why didn't you just label them all 2? Like, that's so weird. Why didn't they do that? There must be... I wonder if there's, like, a slight difference? Maybe they didn't realize when they were making the instructions that they had... Or when they, like, printed the piece that they had done that, and even though it was the same piece, and they were like, well, just put in the label in the instructions then the correct way. Boop, boop. Okay. All right, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they just kept doing that. That was such an interesting choice, considering they didn't do that at all on the Space Marine sprue. Oh, I wonder if it was because it's 2 different designers. I actually have no idea how the production, or I guess not the production, how the process for doing the design of the layout of these sprues. Like, obviously somebody, like, I don't know if the same artists who are designing the actual details of the miniatures are also the ones who are in charge of considering their layout on the sprue size for clipping, or if that is somebody else who has to do that. For example, like maybe, you know, the design is made and then they submit it to a different group within the company, and that group goes, okay, here are our designs. How do we fit these onto the sprue in a seemingly logical sort of way so that the consumer, you know, I guess I assume it's actually mostly thinking about like, okay, what's the best use of space for cost efficiency? And or sometimes the least efficiency of space when they print toes randomly separate from the feet of dreadnoughts. I will never give over that. All right, I'm gonna build the bodies first and then we'll clip out all the treads. Where are my littler sponges? There they are. When I was at my local game store recently, I saw the Mechanicus set for this game, and I will admit, when I'm finished building like a full Death Guard Legion, I do kind of want to build a Mechanicus one, just because I really, really, really liked Mechanicum. And it just makes me think of that. And I expect the starter set for the Mechanicus for Legion isn't going to go away anytime soon, so. And I guess, like, unless the tank or the game just suddenly tanks really badly, but.
They seem like they've been supporting it.
I agree. I feel, I mean, considering they have GaleForce 9 producing a bunch of, like, like, beautifully painted, really nicely sculpted terrain pieces that like 3 different companies are collaborating on. Like, there we go. I think I had a little bit too much dust left over on my sanding pads for it to really start doing its thing well. Now it is.
Yeah, I do think you can rinse those.
Yes. Yeah, I think they're washable. I think you can use them as wet sanding pads too.
Yeah. Well, you can use anything for wet sanding as long as it's wet.
Oh, I thought like certain. I didn't know.
My joke was.
Oh, okay.
If you wet something and sand it, you're wet sanding.
I mean, technically, yes, you're right. I suppose you're correct.
The best kind of correct.
Yes, the technical kind. Is that the starter set that's up there on your screen there? Oh, right, because you were looking at the tank distribution for me. Is it going to be easier to clean these up once I get the pieces actually glued? Because I kind of feel like that might be the case. How does this attach? Aha, like that. Okay. No. The answer to my question is no. Okay. To Boldly Go Models Works, hello, hello. It's lovely to see you in chat. How are you doing today, sir? You been working on any fun model kits for yourself recently today? Or this week? Okay, it's looking pretty cool. Let's get this in. Very nice. All right, let's let that one dry and we'll get working on the other. Ooh, you're building an Airfix Lysander. Very cool. Let me look up what that is specifically, because I don't know if I'm familiar. Like, the Lysander name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if I know it specifically. Can you let me copy that, please? Thank you. My phone was being very silly. All right, a Airfix Lysander. Oh, very cool. That's a cool looking plane. Nice propeller plane. How do you like the Airfix brand? I don't think I've done anything with Airfix before. Very cool. All right, that's good. Where was the one I was actually working on? Not that one. Probably the one my standing file's on. I actually don't know now. I can't find it. Landing agents in France? Okay, cool. Is it a French plane? I've only built one plane and it's been a 0. It was a lot of fun, but it was like very finicky. Like balance was something I had an issue with when I was doing it. The Lysander, you think, is an underrated plane? Very cool. What about it do you think makes it so underrated? Like, what was it going... I guess, like, what was it going against that would have outshined it? Oh, it was an English plane. Okay, that makes sense. I see. They were landing in France against the French, not for the French. I understand. That makes more sense, actually. I don't know why I thought the other way around. The current crop of Airfix kits are very well engineered. Nice, good to know. Yeah, I've mostly built Tamiya. And then I've picked up some from I want to say it's like starts with the D. Something the brand name, but I can't remember now off the top of my head. But that's like the extent of where I've explored different kit lines. The guys at my IPMS club talk about various kits all the time, although they do build a lot of Tamiya ones as well. I mean, they're very prominent, right? Pretty big brand. All right. Ah, this is the one I think I started. Got it. Yep. Dropping things. Helen Guth. Oh, to help the French in World War II. Okay, I wasn't sure which era they were being used in, so I guess that makes more sense.
Well, they're attacking France. There's only a couple.
Well, but they weren't attacking France. They were going to aid France.
But they were
going
to France.
I suppose that's true. I wasn't sure which they were going, which they were doing based on the context that I had. Got it. You said a lot of them were women? That's really cool. So was this like another group kind of like the
Russian witches?
Yeah, the Russian witches that I don't remember what they like what their full like title was. Night witches or something? Were they actually just called night witches?
Yes.
Okay. Which still is very freaking cool. I mostly know it from the Sabaton song. I will admit. Killer song, by the way. Oh, that's cool. I apologize. What is SOE agent? What does that stand for? Secret operations? Something? You like the plane because it was sex. You don't like it because it wasn't sexy or glorious like the Spitfire or the Mustang. Just did a good job and carried on. Nice. Damn. Well, that's pretty cool that your grandfather dropped spies in Norway. Well. I guess it depends on which side. What a wild time to have, like, I mean, what a wild time we live in now. What am I saying? It is crazy. What is that little bit of spur doing there? Get off my Lehman Russ. Those are smoothed down for the treads, which we're going to be putting on next. Should be pretty smooth. It looks like it just like sort of slots into place, which honestly has kind of been the case for a lot of these, which has been really nice. Even the tiny little arm on the plasma gun. Or why do I keep calling the plasma guns? Angela, it wasn't a plasma gun. It's a missile launcher. It's a rocket launcher. Not a plasma. There's no plasma or melta involved in the missiles that fire out of the rocket launcher, okay?
Okay.
That would be cool if there was. Imagine a melta rocket launcher. I don't know how that would work, but I think it'd be cool. Even the missile launcher, guys, arms, like, actually slotted into place way more easily than I feel like other kits that I've built from GW. Oh, Special Operations Executive. Okay, thank you. Oh, MI6. I see. I see. That's so cool. I didn't realize that that's what it was, what it referenced. Very nice. Thank you for the information. This pad. This is the one I want. There's a part of me that wishes Space Marine, like GW tanks, like Guardsman tanks, Space Marine tanks, I don't really care what kind of tank it is, but I wish that there were like scale model kit versions of those tanks, because
that's basically what the models are.
I mean, yes and no, because there is, and I've even like critiqued scale model kits in the past because of some of the fiddliness of having certain things, like certain handles on the tops of like a turret be separate and needing to be glued in to like onto the chassis of the tank. But at the same time, like I kind of would want to see what parts of the tank a scale model designer would choose to include molded into the main sculpt, and which pieces would be the glued on add-ons that would be created separately as part of the sculpt when it comes to
depend on the sprue manufacturing.
I mean, I would think so too, but I also think it would be like depending on how detailed of like art there is of the construction of the kits, because a lot of the times when they're making those decisions at least from my experience, and I don't know this like for certain, obviously I've never talked to like a designer of a scale model kit, but my assumption is based off of what I'm seeing is it's determined because they're like a lot of these kits were, the chassis were mass produced for a variety of different tanks, but then the details that each of those tanks got from version to version or from, you know, like a lot of things used the Panzer chassis or like a Russian chassis or like a German chassis and got converted and like made into these other tanks for these other countries. And so like I would love to see, because we already have the real world duplication of chassis being reused amongst various designs, even in 40K tank design. Like Chaos Cultist and I were talking about this, where how like the Chimera is the base for like several of the Space Marine tanks, and there's the Imperial Guard, and then like what was it for the Rhino? Sorry, yeah, I don't know why I forgot that. The Rhino is the basis for like a lot of Space Marine tanks, and I would love to see a scale model like versions of say the Chimera and then the Lehman Russ and build them and compare like which pieces are add-ons and like that kind of thing, because it's a slightly different approach to the construction of a model, and I understand why they end up feeling very different and why some fans of one versus the other never mix in their like, because like there is a distinct difference in how the approach to these kits is taken from various group to various group. And it's just a really versus like exactly. And then you have Gunpla, which is in a completely different side, also approached in a completely different way, but is still excessively familiar to anybody who's done miniature building or scale model building, but it is still very different. And like that's why I would love to see these especially the Horus Heresy era versions of these tanks, because they're so much more detailed and like built out than I feel like the 40K ones are in just ridiculousness. And I would love to see that represented in an actual scale model. I just don't know if it would ever happen. You're currently building a Tamiya 140A scale Panzer IV. You decided to listen to some live and saw yours. Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you enjoying the content and enjoying listening to me ramble about tanks. That's a pretty, like, Panzers are so cool. I've only built, technically...
Just the T-38.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've only built the T-38 so far. I do have, I think, a Panzer IV in my collection. But I also have a variety of like other ones. I think the next, so I built a Somoa R35, S35? S35, I think you're right. I built a Somoa S35 recently. And I really enjoyed that. That's like a really small little French tank. Very, very fun. And I think what I actually, like, I want to find a really good T-34 tank, like, kit to build. Because I haven't found one yet. I know Tamiya makes one, but I think it's like, I don't know if it's like currently in production and therefore a little more expensive to find. Like, I basically, the last time that I tried looking for it at the scale model shop that used to exist in my area, they didn't have it. And it wasn't like, and I kept looking over like a year-long period and they never got it restocked in. And I don't know if that's because like it just wasn't popular, which doesn't really strike me as true because it's a T-34. I feel like the T-34 is a pretty popular tank. Or, well, okay, maybe not as much as it used to be, but I feel like at the time when I was looking, it was. And so I don't know if it's just like it's such an old kit that maybe they don't produce it regularly anymore, and so I just need to go like online or something. But Xander, you said you're painting some chibi style Krutrox riders called Tank. Ooh, I have to look up what that is. Okay, hold on.
Like Kroot?
Like Krutox.
Yeah, they ride like big Kroot hound thingies.
Oh, but they're chibi style ones? That's so cute. Where did you get them? Like, so chibi Krutox. Like, did you
So, yeah,
like?
that's a Krutox.
Okay, so like, did you 3D print them? Is that how you're like you have chibi style versions? You're currently painting an HOHA. It's not rude if you like tankettes. HO-HA. I'm afraid I don't know what that is.
Homeowners Association, Alcoholics Anonymous.
No, it's ho-ha.
Oh.
It's ho-ha. I don't think you can post links, unfortunately. Oh, I didn't realize my camera went down. Here, let me switch to full space for a second. That's just because we had been going for a little while and my camera shuts itself off automatically after 13 minutes. I don't think you can unfortunately post links in chat, but if you are on like Instagram or Twitter or X, whatever they call it nowadays, you can send me a link there. Don't do it through Facebook because I don't check my Facebook messages. That's why I have the automatic message to direct everybody to Instagram. I'm like, please go there. I can only check so many places. My brain can only handle so much. Hello, Kenny. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Boop. There we go. 4 little holes built for our Lehman Russes. Ho-ha is the Japanese with very thin armor. Is that Japanese with very thin armor? What Japanese with very thin armor, though? Is it like a tank? Is it a plane? Is it a boat? Oh, I think I'm familiar with them on my mini factory. Yes, I do think I've looked at their grimdark cuteness stuff. Oh, no worries then. Okay, I'll take a look at that. That's really cute sounding. I think I've looked at the... Actually, I may have... Didn't you 3D print me some sisters?
Yep.
That were like chibi? I wonder if it's the same person. Do you remember if it was Marchand Artilleer?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't. Okay. Okay. Do you remember if it's called like the Grimdark Cuteness series?
That I couldn't tell you.
Okay. That sounds really familiar to me for some reason, and I don't know if it's because I've seen them on my mini factory before, or if that's where we got my sisters or whatever. It's so small, it's called a tankette. Oh, that's so... Oh, that's why it's called a tank. Oh my god, what? That's the cutest thing. I need to look this up now. Tankette, huh? Tankette. No, not tab. Tankette. Oh my god, they're tiny! Holy shit, they make you look like you were a child riding around in a children's toy. Holy cow. Hold on. For those of you that want to know what I'm looking at. So this is apparently a tankette. It is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. It fits a single person and he is sticking out the top of it, and that is adorable. Poland. I need one. Oh my god, they're so small. I bet I could be inside of it. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, that's the best thing. I need to build one. I need to find do they make models of tank? Well, obviously, you're building one. Do they make multiple? Like, are there many models of tankettes? Because now I just feel like I need an army of them. You're so cute. I love small things of destruction. Okay, I can't help it. But small things that destroy are adorable to me. That's why I'm into tsunderes. Release the treads. No, I said release the treads. Which of you is not clipped? There we go. Okay. So, are they all 12 and 13? They are all 12 and 13. So I'm just going to put all the 12s on one side and all the 13s on the other side. 12s are going on the right. 13s are going on the left. 12. All right, last 12, and then we'll move over to the 13s. It does look like an armored lawnmower. Oh, you're doing a Japanese one for bolt action? Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know bolt action had those on them. That is a game series that is not really like supported in my area that I've, at least in the numerous, like I have been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 or so different game stores in various portions of like my area, like across the bay. And don't clip that one out, Angela, that's 13. And not once, I don't think, have I seen like a big bolt action display in any of those stores. I don't know if that is played here in California. I think people are like just not into it. And if they are, they don't play it at game stores. Maybe it's like a game club thing. Like I see Flames of War represented, but not bolt action. Okay, 13. Alright, we should get the last 2 13s. Alright. Stabbing my hand a little bit, but it's fine. No big deal. Bolt action is for Warhammer players who decide to put on their big boy pants. Careful there, Commander HHL. You might insult some of my fans. None of the local game stores in your area in California allow people to play in stores? What do you mean they don't allow them to play in stores? You mean they're blatantly being... Like, are they blatantly being like, oh, that's historical war games and we don't support that here? Or are they being like, bolt action isn't allowed for X reason? Or is it just like, is it bolt action? Is it historical wargaming? Or is it because the game features like problematic historical references? Is that like the reason why they don't let it? Like, that's such a weird thing. Wolf Samurai, welcome, welcome. Those are, yes, these are God Hand side cutters. They are. I love them. Yes, they are extremely nice side cutters. I really like them a lot. I did, this particular one that I'm using right now is a little bit worn down. That's why it's got the tape on it, because I used it on some metal pieces and I shouldn't have. And then I also have their sanders, like their sanding pads, which I really like a lot. They have a lot of different grits, and they're really good. Oh, I see. That's so, like, that's such an interesting... That's an interesting choice for a game store. What game store are you going to in California that doesn't have a play space?
Well, there's plenty of those that just sell product.
Oh, really? I guess...
You've been to a few.
Have I?
Yes.
All the... I mean, I guess Legend...
Yeah.
But, like, I don't really...
There are others.
Consider that a game store as much as, like, a novelty store. Or, like, a toy store that just happens to sell games. Because they do so much, like, action figure. Like, action figure seems to be their main...
Okay.
But, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, I mean, they are still technically a game store. They do still sell board games and stuff. But they still pull tables out for, like, card events. But I guess, yeah, like, Warhammer events, yeah, I suppose that would be the... True, and if they can't do Warhammer events, they're not going to really let you probably do any other miniature gaming. But that's just so... That just feels very antithesis to the idea of a game store, because, like, in my head, game stores are always half and half. Like, they're meant to be half retail and, like, but also be, like, part of the whole business plan and idea of owning a game store is to also provide a community space for the people who want to play those games, because oftentimes, I mean, sometimes the games are so large that you can't play them at your house necessarily, especially if you're in a smaller apartment or something like that. Especially when it comes to wargaming. Like, I mean, card games and stuff you can usually play wherever because if it's a one-on-one thing especially, but even if you're doing like Commander where it's like 4 or 2v2 or a 4-person, free-for-all, I feel like you can still achieve that at your house without having to go to a game store for it. But, I mean, like, a lot of games also just do so many events. Especially, like, card games with all the pre-releases and stuff. It just seems so opposite of the point of opening a game store. But then again... I've not, like, been part of that industry in a while, so who knows? Maybe things have changed a little bit. Hello, Havman. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully work wasn't too bad for you. Well... Envy Nemo, I don't know what part of California you're in, but if you want a decent store to go play at as well as shop at, and you happen to be in the Berkeley area, I would recommend Games of Berkeley. I know that there are a variety of other like Games of locations in the Bay Area, at least. They're not associated with Games of Berkeley, but they also have pretty good play spaces. So I can recommend that. And as far as I know, all of the game castles in the Bay Area also have play spaces. So if you do want a place to go play as well as be able to shop, if any of those are in your, like, within your region, I would highly recommend them. That is crazy to me that Panera Bread is more welcoming for people playing card games and playing Warhammer than the game store. That's the point of a game store. Oh no. You were short-staffed today? You were short-staffed with just short staff? Oh no. That's double whammy. Yeah, mine did too, actually. Because you're talking about the sanding things, right? Because they do come in little bags with multiple different grades in them. So like this is the kit that I got. It has like 3 different mini bags within it of various thicknesses, but they all have the same spread of grits. So it goes like as high as 10,000 if you need like a really, really fine grit, which honestly is great because if you're doing some very fine sanding on like Gundam models, or you're wanting to be really delicate on your Warhammer models, like say you're doing something with like a character that you really care about and you want to make sure you don't accidentally sand away the wrong thing. These higher grits, you can like build up to them and really just get a very smooth finish. So if you're doing Golden Demon stuff, it could be really beneficial for that. And they come in various like thicknesses, which means that you can like bend and squeeze and like squish them a lot more and get them into weird grooves and all that kind of stuff. Happen, don't worry. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. You'll be back in about 25 to 30 minutes while you drive home. Well, yes, don't put this stream on while you're driving. That would be very dangerous. We'll see you when you get back. That is not just an English thing. I do think that it's something that people do here, Gordon, but it's, you know, honestly, I don't know if it's as common. So I can think of two... You know, actually, I can only think of... I can actually only think of one instance of a club meeting up that was paying for their space in that kind of way. That wasn't in a game store, and that is my IPMS club. Not when I was going to it, but before I was a member, when they were... Actually, before they were even going to the no longer available Hobbies Unlimited location. I'm going to switch to this while I chat for a second. Sorry, excuse me. They paid for a space, but it got really expensive, and so they didn't want to keep doing it. Which is why now they actually meet at a game store, because the thing is game stores in the US, and I know this is very different in the UK because there, one, aren't nearly as many independent game shops as there are, like, say, Games Workshop shops and that kind of thing. Like, they just don't seem like they're as prominent in the UK as they are. Like, I know that there are gaming pubs and, like, gaming cafes a bit more, I think, in the UK than even sometimes there are in the States. But, like, as far as, like, just independent local game stores, I don't think you guys have that as much. And so in the US, I don't think we see the clubs happen as much. Well, they still do. They absolutely still do. I just don't think it's as much for the gaming communities because they tend to expect their game stores to have play space for them. Like, I will admit, as a seasoned gamer at this point, when I move to a new area and I look to see if they have a game store, because that's always very important to me, I will go to that game store and check out the play space, because, like, even though I myself do not always end up going and utilizing those play spaces as, say, often as I sometimes encourage you guys and I know I used to encourage people to do when I worked at a game store, I still like knowing that it exists to be there. And I do go to pre-releases. So I do like being able to, like, comfortably be in a space for a pre-release and not, one, have it, like, smell horrendous, which is sometimes a problem. And also just, like, not be so crammed in that it's uncomfortable. And so I think the clubs don't happen as much. When they do end up happening, I think they end up either being, like, honestly, a little bit of a rich person thing, where either they have, like, where they can't afford to rent, like, a clubhouse space, which I just think is stupid expensive to do in the US for some reason, or at least that's the impression I kind of get based off of, like, the complaints that I've heard from my IPMS group, which is a very minor group, and I don't know, like, how all-encompassing that is, but that's, like, my only point of reference. Yeah, I think it's like the clubs just don't seem to happen over here as much. One thing I will say is there are a couple of places, like, so in San Jose, there's a really great bar that hosts gaming events all of the time, both digital and tabletop. If you've ever watched any of the Hobby Collabs content, you may have heard them talk about it and or seen some of their broadcasts from this location because they did their Maelstrom mixer there.
The Guild House.
At the Guild House. It's called the Guild House. It's a really cool, like I said, bar gaming space. It's huge. They have like multiple, like they have some private rooms. They have two,
they have
like
a LAN room.
Yeah, they have a LAN room, and then they have like their main space area. And while it can get like sometimes loud in there if multiple events are going on, I've seen the entire space taken over for Warhammer because of the Maelstrom mixer. Because they did, between Hobby Collab doing their Age of Sigmar tournament, and then there was a 30K group that was also involved. And I don't remember that group's name off the top of my head right now. I'm so sorry. But like they also were there, and they were basically like half of the tournament, and then the AOS was the other half. And it was really, really cool. I don't know if they're doing it again this year. Actually, I know the 30K people are, because they invited me to the event in June. I don't know if Hobby Collab is doing their AOS one again or not. But regardless, like it was a very, very, very cool thing. And like that is the only place that I know where they have like consistent meetups of people like gaming in a club environment like that. And it's kind of weird that that doesn't happen more, but I really think it's because the US like community of gamers has the expectation of, no, you go to the game store to game. Like, I think that's just sort of been ingrained because I feel like that's
one of the few third spaces.
It's one of the few third spaces that is still around. That also existed back in the day, like back in like the 90s and the 80s, and I mean probably even further back into that. But I don't really know when game stores in the US like super became.
It was really the 80s and 90s.
Was it the 80s? Okay, I assume so.
D&D and Warhammer didn't happen until the 70s, and Warhammer was more European than here. There were like hobby shops before that, but they were more hobby and train stores more often than
like game stores.
Yeah, and then game stores kind of evolved, I think, out of the 80s with sort of the geek culture at the time.
Right, that makes sense to me. And I think because of the way that those game stores evolved, and like I feel like a lot of them immediately had play spaces, because again, a lot of these were started by people who were passionate about the games already, like they were themselves fans of the games, and they were like, well, I want a place for me and my buddies to play, but I also could turn it into a business. And I think that's kind of where it evolved, and that's where that's why you don't see the clubs as much in the States.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons
that don't really have a culture for that kind of stuff over here.
No, not as much. Like that's why I actually joined the IPMS club, is because I thought it was really cool, because I like the idea of having a consistent like group to sort of encourage you to work on projects. And yeah, I don't like, they don't game or anything because it's all scale models. I mean, although I will say that there are multiple people, not just the younger people too, like some of the older ones have all gone into 40K because we meet in a game store now, so they're constantly surrounded by it, and they just are like, ooh, these look cool. The price is the main thing that throws them off, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, God, this is like 3 of my scale models. And I'm like, yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
That's why when they, oh my gosh, I was talking with these guys about the price of a master grade Gundam wing kit, or wing Gundam kit. And it was $50. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, why are you gawking at that? I have bought Tamiya kits that are over $50. And don't have nearly the variety of colored plastics that they have to inject and mold. So what are you talking? This is a good deal. Get over it. Perspective. It's all about perspective. Oh, so you meet up at, Wolf Samurai, are you talking about for scale model events? Is that what it's RSL? Returned and Service League of Australia. We rent a hall and events for tournaments. Oh, that's really cool. No, that makes complete sense, Xander. Price is a very good reason for a lot of people to 3D print. Oh, is that what's been like happening? Is like a lot of pubs that start setting up like third spaces upstairs for like people to play and like do that kind of stuff? That's really cool.
That makes sense. I mean, with Gen Z and A not drinking as much, I'm sure they're looking for something.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense to me. All right, we got to figure out. So I put all the 13s on the left, and I put all of the 12s on the right. Now let's figure out which side goes on which. 13 appears to be like that. Does that look correct? Yes. And then this one, which I have not cleaned up yet, would go like that. Okay. All right. All right, let's clean up the other side now that we know that we have them, I think, on the correct sides. Yes. All right. GW doesn't understand that. 40K and 30K, some Star Wars battle tech. Nice. So it's just basically an all-around like miniatures. Like, do you play games with miniatures? Come and play with us. That's really cool. Yeah, that sounds very like that kind of sounds a little bit more like it's interesting. It sounds like more of a mix of what the scale modelers do here in the US combined with like the gameplay portion of the 40K things. That's really nice. I like that. God, I can only imagine how insanely expensive it must be to be a fan of 40K or 30K products in the UK, or in the, not the UK, sorry, in Australia. Yeah, because like you guys get products so much later than everybody else. And then I think it costs like absurd amounts because of just the shipping, which is, ugh, I'm so sorry. I'm curious, actually. I would be very curious to poll gamers in Australia to be like, how many of you own 3D printers because you just got tired of waiting for all of the cool things for, because like I can't imagine that, like I can't imagine it's just Games Workshop that you have this problem with. Surely like Mantic and like all the other kits and games that also are not produced anywhere near you also have this same issue where it takes forever to get to you. It's probably a lot more expensive, etc. Like, and I'm curious how many of the gamers in Australia and New Zealand are just like, screw it, we're going 3D printing and only 3D printing. Because I do feel like I see a lot of like designers out of Australia. Then again, I see designers from a lot of places, so maybe that's not as good of a judge, but like, yeah, I would imagine so. Like, you have to, right? Because it just takes too long. Like, you would fall so behind, especially if you were trying to actually like be competitive to be able to then go to say like, I don't know, LVO or something like that, like down the line. You'd have to, but then you'd also have to get official things if you were wanting to be competitive. So maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would just like, I don't know, how would you do that? Would you set up like, would you have a friend in like the UK who just sent it to you? Like they get it and then they just ship it to you or something? Like, is that what, like if you're a competitive player in Australia trying to keep up with the meta, which, by God, power to you if you are. How do you manage that? Because I mean, I don't do that at all anyways, because I'm not a meta chaser, but like, and I'm not nearly that competitive, but like, I just, my brain is boggled. Okay, let's do this. So this should go, okay, like that. Anything imported is stupidly high. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Over $25? It wasn't even 8 ounces? My goodness. That's crazy. Oh, dang, it takes months. Jeez, that sucks. I mean, I guess they are literally on the opposite side of the planet is the problem, right? But like, still. What a very Australia-New Zealand problem. I didn't mean to glue that side. It's okay. Just do this. Just grab the other side, Angela, and stick it on. I meant to glue all of one side on first and then do the others, but that's what I do. Dun, da, da, da. Oh, also I should probably switch back over to this now that I'm doing some fun stuff. Some fun gluey stuff. Not to be confused with bluey, because it kind of sounded like I said that. Okay. There's the next one. That's crazy. That is outrageous. And Games Workshop wonders why people pirate some of their stuff. They also wonder why we beg them to just do digital codexes. It would just be better for everybody. That is a consumer, but screw that. We're just the consumer.
Feeling some anger today?
I don't know. Apparently. All right. I should make sure that I put the right side on. Okay, there we go. I'm kind of curious what the figures were that you were fancying. Were they, like, superhero ones? Were they mean, I can't imagine they were anime ones if you were wanting them from the US. I would have, if they were anime, I suspect you'd want them from Japan. Was it like a Weta figure? I don't know, 18 for some Weta figures I wouldn't be too upset about. But if it was like something small, like if you were just getting like a small like Superman figure or something like that, then yeah, I could absolutely be like, ugh, that's the price of the figure. There we go. Our little Lehman Russes.
Yay!
Well, they're not completely done,
Boo!
but their hulls are built.
You told me they were done.
I did not.
You said they were Lehman Russes.
Okay, it's the body of them. It's their hull. I have the tanks or the
You're that villain who's like, I will return the hostage to you, and then it's just a corpse, and you're like, I returned them to you, didn't I? You're that person.
Okay, I am not that person, and I'm gonna go feed the cat.
And it's almost break time anyway.
Mm-hmm. I thought it might be. I hadn't looked at what time it was. 12:47. Excellent. When did I start? 11?
11, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was gonna have to take a break anyway.
Yeah, so actually, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll be back at 1 o'clock to keep going. I'm gonna go feed my cat and actually get myself some. I don't know why I keep looking over there. Sorry. Let me do this also. Hi. I'm gonna go feed my cat. Jack, do you want to come say hi to everybody before I feed you? Come here. Come here. Come here. Meow. Yeah, come here. Come here, fluffy lad. Hi. Hi. Say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. I want food. Mother needs to feed me. So she's gonna take a break and go feed me now.
Aww.
He's majestic.
Yes.
You said aw though, and you distracted him, and now he wants down. But all right, I'm gonna go feed the cat. I'll be right back. I'll be right back at 1 o'clock, and see you guys in roughly 10 minutes. What time is it currently? We have hit 7:18. Well, okay, so technically, for me currently, it is 12:49 p.m., which is why I'm gonna be back at 1 p.m. my time. So whatever your regional equivalent is, I'm in Pacific Standard Time. He is a long boy. He is a very, very long boy. All right, guys, I'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Looks like I didn't disconnect. I brought my microphone down with me. I was just getting a second ad up to let people know that I was still going, and I took some cool shots of all the little minis sitting on the table, and it looks rad, and I just posted that to Instagram and Facebook with another link. Huzzah! All right. Let us continue working on these Russes. We have the exhausts next to clip out and attach, as well as some little, like, what are the things? Buttresses? Flying buttresses? They kind of look like flying buttresses. So that's fun. I see my many exhausts. Here they are. Snip. 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 All right, let's see. Gentle here, because these are very tiny. Very tiny. Oh, actually, let me get this back on, and we can swap back over to desktop real fast. Loud and clear, excellent. Thank you for the welcome back. Havman, it's lovely to see you in chat. Hopefully your drive was safe and you're not currently still driving. And Chorus, or Coruscane? Chasm? I'm probably butchered your name. I'm so sorry. I think you should still paint your army, even if you don't necessarily have anybody to play with currently. Seeing it painted probably would be very nice. I agree with you there. And so I would say go for it, even if you don't currently have anyone to throw down with, because at minimum, you can get some fun hobbying in, right? That's, I think, the best way to handle it. Little exhaust, little exhaust, little exhaust, and one more. And then, okay, we have, where are these little struts? Are they the same? Are they all 11? They all appear to be number 11, so they're all identical, so let's just clip them all out then.
You want me to get him?
I already brought him up here once, but if you want to go get him again,
He just wants to sing.
I think he might just be singing because he was just hanging out at the bottom of the steps.
Okay.
And he might be at the top of the steps now. He sounds closer, so I don't think he actually went down. He's approaching. Jackalack, do you want to come hang out? He ate and now he's feeling active. Because he's an active boy. So good and sweet. Okay. I think that's all. Yep, that looks like it all. You just got home, you have to leave again in an hour? Oh, why are you going to have to leave it again in an hour? What do you got to go do? Run some errands or something? And if you don't want to say, that's absolutely fine. I don't mean to pry, I'm just nosy.
Crime.
Oh, he's gonna go. Oh, okay. Well, maybe if you're gonna go do crime, don't tell me. Jack, attack.
He's just like, why are you guys sitting down here?
He really is. He's like, hey, yesterday you guys were down here, like for an extended period of time, and I got to lay next to you. Yeah, go get him, please. So that he knows where we are and he can stop stressing. Where did who go? Well, good, because you shouldn't be watching a stream while driving. Like, it's all fine and dandy for, like, I feel like a podcast where it's just audio and, you know, you're listening to people talk. And I understand that you may even just be listening to me talk, and I suppose that would be fine, but, like, I worry. I worry about, I don't want to find out that somebody was listening to me while they were driving and got into an accident.
I have brought the cat.
Hello, boy. Hello. You want love? Maybe. You can jump up here if you want. You can hang out up here if you want. Yeah. I see you looking up at me. Winking. You little winker? He's like sitting there going at me. Meow. Okay. Come here. There you go. There you go. Oh, what are all those? Those tiny little toys that you can like bat off the table? Please don't. You're normally not the one to do that. That's your sister. Look at him. Aww. Oh, very nice. What are you guys selling at the concession stand? Is it like is it a lemonade? Like, is it classic lemonade, or is it like, is it one of those ones where it's like, oh, it's like the donut fundraiser or like a candy drive or something like that? Oh, you rubbing your face on the desk? Did you find a nice little bit of corner there? Are you enjoying belly rubs? Oh, he is. You should look at his face. Like. Yeah, you're the Fluffmeister General, aren't you? Yeah. I just looking over at the screen and seeing him like looking up at me. It's so cute. You're so precious and I love you so much. It's like, Mom, don't embarrass me.
I'm trying to look regal.
I'm trying to look regal here, Mother. Okay, can I start gluing some things without you freaking out, or trimming, not trimming, sanding some things without you freaking out, huh? Yeah. Can you be a cute boy and just sit there and help me hobby? Because you're the best. He does. He's such a sweet boy. I'm just gonna keep it on this right now because he's too darn cute. And I want this recorded for myself, honestly. So sorry. I'll show you guys when we start gluing. I'll switch the screen back over, but we're just sanding. And he's being all regal and handsome. Hello, I am starting to drift. But I am happy now. Therefore, I will not meow. Okay, so it's like the full, like a full like snack stand type thing. So is this like is this one of those ones where that it is at the school that they're selling it and it's to all the like after school program like participants? Or I guess the snacks of, I just got out of class, let me go get myself a treat. Because I definitely partook of that myself in back in the day. Settling down. Oh, he's loafing. He's a little loafer. What are these things on the Leman Russes? Are they like supporting a gun or something? Or just a... It does not look like it. I think it's just on the back. I'll have to go look at my larger Leman Russ like model. I don't remember this structure. Wonder if this is old.
What is it?
It's these little like flying buttress looking things. They appear to go on the back of like, so it looks like they go
For towing.
here.
It's for towing.
Oh, is that what it's for? Okay. Do the modern?
I've seen mirrors. I didn't see them on Leman Russes, but I'm sure that he does.
Okay. Ah, okay, there's an event as well. That's cool. And of course, are you going to hang out for the basketball game too? I know you're a big fan of basketball. I assume, while the children's basketball is maybe a wee less professional than what you normally watch, I assume it's still very fun for you. I'm looking forward to the Rumble this weekend. For any of you guys that are wrestling fans. I actually don't know. So I was thinking about it. Somebody asked me, this is a slight change of subject, but I apologize. It came into my brain. Somebody asked me who I thought, well, like what my predictions for the Rumble. And unfortunately, I think for the men's Rumble, my worst nightmare is going to win.
John Cena.
No. Oh, I forgot John Cena was in it this year, though. No, CM Punk is my worst nightmare winning.
Yeah.
And I do really kind of think he's going to win, because I don't think... as much as I would love, legitimately, to see John Cena come back, win the Rumble, get the belt, finally...
It's a longer story than that, I hope.
Oh, goodbye, Jack. Are you going down to the blanket now? All right, that's fine. All right, now that he is ending, sorry. Nope, that one. Like, I don't know if I actually believe he's gonna do it. I mean, it would be really cool. Like, that would be really... Okay, John Cena's who I want to win. I think CM Punk's actually gonna win. Because I think they are going to want to do the Cody Punk angle that they've been hinting at or blatantly saying in promos.
They're doing promos.
Yeah, they're doing promos of it. And while, God, I really, really hope Cody retains in that instance, because I don't want to see Punk with the championship. Not a Punk fan, if you can't tell. But, God, if Cena won it, that'd be so hilarious to me. That would be actually really, really good. I don't know who's in the women's, though. This is the whole point of me bringing this up. I actually don't know enough of who is in the women's one to have a good prediction of who I think is going to win. Because I know Rhea currently has the championship. So I assume that means that Mandy... No, who is... Liv. I assume Liv must be in there. I don't think she's going to win it. Because I don't think they're going to bother, like, rehashing that matchup again. Because I feel like they've been doing that for a while. Yeah, I just don't want Punk to win. I expect he's going to, but I don't want it. Would it be better to put these on... Well, no, they want me to put the exhausts on first. So let's follow the order. Let's follow the order the thing tells me to. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that looks pretty straight. All right, I'm going to tack it a little bit more. Not that much liquid though, that would flood it. On the underside. Okay, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay. Next one. Let's do a little bit of the double tack so it has a better stick. I would love to see Asuka return. That would be cool. Also, seeing her return and win the Rumble would be glorious. I feel so bad for her. I don't know how many of you guys follow her on Twitter or not, but like apparently she's being harassed right now by some stalker who's like in love with her or something like that from the sounds of it, like has like strong romantic feelings, and like which is so weird to me because Asuka's like married with 2 kids. She's not available. She's like not even, I mean, like I know she's done like GaleForce and I think before like when she was in Japan. But like leave the woman alone. Let her do her career and like don't do that. Don't stalk somebody like that. It's not cool, man. Not cool. I feel so bad for her. That's true. Becky coming back and doing something is definitely a possibility. Is Charlotte a contender? Oh, you just said that in the first one. Okay, so Asuka could come back. Of course, there is Charlotte returning. I forgot. So she is returning this year finally because she's been out of it. Okay, because I had seen something on like social media recently about her like being back. I think it was actually from her specifically, and it was like a tweet, and she had like a black bar over her eyes or something as she was like walking up a pair of stairs looking fierce or something like that. And I assumed that was about some sort of return because I knew she had been away for a bit. Yeah, I follow her on X as well, and that's how I saw it too. Which is just like so. Just don't do that. Okay. All right, we got those on. Now we can glue on all the towing elements. I think the best way to do this here would be put the glue on the toe side and then I say it's this one. And then just let it adhere. Okay, there we go. Well, now that I know where it's gonna hit roughly, I can kind of do that and put it in the gap here. And that'll help seal the pieces together a bit more too. Okay, I like that. Don't put it on the wrong way though, Angela. That would be silly. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the stream. We are talking a little bit of wrestling. We're talking about, well, we're talking about 2 different things. We're talking about the Royal Rumble, because obviously that's coming up this Saturday, which I will be hosting a watch-along stream, not on YouTube or anything like that. But we will be having a watch-along stream on the free page. So that's gonna be on Saturday. I still haven't looked up what time the event is starting, but we'll all figure that out together. And then we're also talking about the fact that Asuka's unfortunately being stalked right now and how uncool that is. Although I'm hoping the person doing it will lay off now that I think she's been a little bit more public about it, because I can only imagine like news reporters and stuff are going to pick it up, and hopefully it will discourage the person from continuing the harassment. Wolf Samurai, they absolutely do need to understand the difference between reality and fantasy, 100%. Thankfully, as somebody who does do like work that can attract the same kind of attention, I have not had a problem with that so far. And I am very grateful for that kind of thing. Like my fans, you guys, I was pointing at the wrong thing. I was looking over at chat. I was pointing at the chat that I was reading. But you guys are awesome. Okay, we have only 2 more of these to go. 1 more tank for them to go on to. Dude, I don't know what it is. Horus Heresy era tanks just look so much cooler than their 40k counterparts. What happened? I mean, I know a lot of stuff got destroyed. I know Chaos corrupted a lot of it. Destroyed facilities where they would have maybe been making them in the first place. Took materials and the components and some of the knowledge with them as they turned. But like, come on. I feel like for 40k, like they could start adding some cool exterior stuff, or like, I don't know, creating some new guns. It's against dogma to do such a thing. In fact, I should be slain for heresy just for suggesting it. It's okay, I'm iconoclastic. We don't care. All right, look at our beautiful little tanks. Look, they're so small. We have to build the turrets now, though. Now, we have options. Can I magnetize that? Are you, for your front sponson, do you want the las cannon or the heavy bolter?
Me?
Yes, you.
Where is it?
It is on the front. It's the one that's like, it's not the turret, it's the little one on the front of the body of the tank.
Oh. Heavy bolter.
The heavy bolter? Okay. I put las cannons on all mine, so.
Okay, then put las cannon.
Well, no, that's fine. I just.
Las cannon.
Okay, I'm putting a las cannon. Okay, and then I'm gonna see, can I make this, how many of these can I make? Oh, I actually can only make the 4. Interesting, okay.
Yeah, it's 4 Lehman Russes and 2
Well, so
Valkyries.
what I was wondering is, on the Space Marine tank, I could make multiple of the entire top of the tank to be able to swap the guns. And in this, it looks like they only give you 4. Sorry. It only gives you 4 of the like portion that plugs into the tank itself, and you glue in the gun. And I don't know if I can magnetize it.
Okay.
So you will need to determine whether or not you want the Lehman Russ battle cannon, or the Vanquisher battle cannon, or maybe like 2 of each.
Normal battle cannon, please.
The Lehman Russ one?
Yes.
Okay. All 4 of them?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Issue solved. All right, let's get the little toppers. What is the top of the tank with the turret called? Is it just called the turret?
Yes.
Okay. It ends up being, my watch-alongs at this point have mostly been me screaming about CM Punk. Alright, we're not going with the Vanquisher, we are going with the Battle Cannon. Oh, sorry, they're both Battle Cannons. The Lehman Russ one, which is number 20. Okay. Let's get this cleaned up and situated. Las cannons are cooler in your opinion too? You know, that's fair. I mean, it's true, it's just a heavy bolter, right? Like, lame. Argenta cries in the corner because that's what I currently have her assist. Well, actually, no, because we're in Comera, so I don't have her currently carrying her heavy bolter, but that's what she had before we had all of our shit stolen from us. I had all my best gear on me. And I just took it. All of it. Filthy Drakari. You love your last cannons? I mean, that's the point, right? Guard are all about their las cannons and las guns and las anything, really. They like them lasers. What else is happening at the Royal Rumble? Surely there's other matches. Like maybe 2 or 3 other matches, but I don't actually know what they are.
Yeah, we should watch Russell Talk predictions later.
We also can watch Adams, because I'm on his Patreon and that video's out, so we can watch that if you'd like.
I'm not there, so I can't see it.
Well, yeah, you can. I'll put it up for us.
You can't be sharing people's Patreon content.
Well, okay, I'm gonna message Adam right now.
Joke.
As a joke, I am message.
It is like 10 p.m. for him.
Okay, he'll be up. I've talked to him before that late. I am messaging you.
No.
Fine. Fine.
Don't harass him about stupid crap.
Fine, I won't harass him about stupid.
And I'm the stupid crap. Don't harass.
You're not stupid. Oh, that sounds so cool. What a fun game, Robert. So for the Royal Rumble, it's really big for you, your sister, and your husband, and her husband, sorry, not your husband, her husband. And you have a bingo cards and a random number generator to decide which wrestler each of us is rooting for. That's so fun. When Russell Talk did a Royal Rumble like watch along during, I think, like, honestly, COVID.
I think it was 2021.
Yeah, I think it was 2021's. They invited me to be a part of it because it was an entirely online thing, and now they do their, like, you know, their in-person things at the theaters, which is really cool. But I do miss when they did this because we did a similar thing. Everybody got I think we got each 2 wrestlers because I think there was, let's see, there's normally like what, 30 people in the Royal Rumble. I think that's the normal amount. So I think there were 15 of us or something. And so I think we each got 2. Or maybe we got like, maybe there were 30 of us and we each got 2 because we had 1 for the women's, 1 for the men's. I don't remember now. But the point is like, we were brought in when those people were in the ring, and then we left when they got out, and it was a competition. It was really fun. And it sounds very similar to that. You know, he's back, technically, Commander HHL. The Rock, that is. Not Hulk Hogan, and none of us want him back anyways. The Gravedigger. I don't know. Do I know the Gravedigger? I don't think I know that character in wrestling. Was he an opponent of Hogan's? Oh. Just do that real quick. Get that back on. And there we go. I felt like that was really loud. I hope you guys didn't just hear my, like, stomach grumble. Oh, throwing things. All right, yes, I think I've cleaned up all of these. That's great. Now it's just the guns, or the cannons, to be more accurate. I think technically. Oh, okay. Okay, now I have to look up who the Gravedigger was. Gravedigger. That is...
Like the monster truck?
That's a monster truck. Wrestler. Okay, the real name of the wrestler Gravedigger, oh, one word, okay, is John Burroughs. He's a Hall of Famer in the WCF, where he spent most of his career. Okay. What does this guy look like? Oh! Wait. No, that's Mark. That's... Why am I just getting pictures of The Undertaker? John Burroughs, okay. Let's see. Gravedigger. Wrestler. Oh, okay. Was he a guy that had black, red, and what looks like silver face paint? And then he also seems to wear, honestly, what kind of looks like the football shoulder pieces, kind of like the Road Warriors, but with like smaller spikes on them. Okay, there's actually been like, it seems like there's been a number of people to have the name Gravedigger. I have no idea now. I don't know if you're trolling me about Undertaker or if he's like, or if he's an indie star from like WCF. I guess that wouldn't be indie, but like, it's an older star from WCF or something like that. And yes, there is a Gravedigger monster truck as well. There was a Royal Rumble casket match between Undertaker and Yokozuna. Maybe you did get him mixed up with the Undertaker? Listen, I was like willing to 100% believe, because I'm a very gullible person, that there was a completely side separate character named the Gravedigger, which would have been hilarious to me, because especially if they came before Undertaker, because then I could just like, I would make jokes that they just ripped that character off. But there also appears to be like some like fictional versions of like a Gravedigger character and some like wrestling IP content, so which is pretty cool. Your favorite is Shockmaster? You know what? Power to you. Shockmaster is pretty gosh darn funny. Not a problem, Commander. Not a problem. Honestly, it makes it was an enjoyable little search, because there were some wrestlers named that. I think there's even currently some. I just think they're indie wrestlers, which is hilarious to me. I assume they're all inspired by Undertaker. Sometimes the flash comes off really clean, and other times it really doesn't. And you really gotta dig at it. Then you do get it clean, and you're like, yeah, it feels great. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm actually gonna have a really very fun weekend that thankfully is not going to end up being as busy as I originally thought it was going to be. So originally I was like, okay, I've got my Royal Rumble stream on Saturday, and then on Sunday, I thought I was going to be doing some filming with No Rules Bard for another Blood in the Clock Tower bout. But thankfully that's on Monday, not Sunday. Because the thing that I also wanted to do on Sunday is I want to take Chaos Cultist to the Whimsy Market. That is a local like arts market in my area. Well, it's not in my area, it's technically in Berkeley. We're gonna head over there. And one of the reasons, I'm not gonna spoil anything because I know he's listening, but I have been planning something for him. And I haven't wanted to talk about it with like my patrons or my YouTube members, even though I think it'd be really cool to like keep you guys informed. And so this is the first time I've mentioned it at all, and I feel like this is the only way I can do it without like giving away too much. But I have been planning to get him something quite cool. It was something that I started planning around the holiday season last year. But basically, I have something really cool in mind as a gift for him that at this market I'm hoping to at least reveal a little bit of. And I'm very excited. So we're doing that on Sunday. That's going to be very, very cool. Cannot wait. And then Monday, I've got the filming with Noel's Bart. And for once, I'm very happy about this. I can't believe they, like, managed to do it. But it's not actually going to be at 3 a.m. for me. We actually have a normal start time for me of 7 a.m. Wild. Last couple times I've filmed with them, I have been up at like 2 in the morning. It's been fine. I have zero problems with it. Please don't stop inviting me. But like, I think it was really funny because in the note he was like, it's going to be really convenient for all of our American friends. And in my head I was like, oh, yay! Not a super early start time. Woo! You're gonna go see Sonic 3 tomorrow? Nice. It's hilarious. It's the only one of the Sonic films that I've seen, but I loved it. It was genuinely... I cried.
You cried.
I do not cry at everything. I cry at a number of things. All right, the first of the Leman Russ battle cannons is in place. 3 more to go. You know, I bet that's actually probably a very doable thing to do. Go to your local gaming club and get a wrestling education, because I bet you there's enough gamers that also watch pro wrestling that is 100% a doable thing. It was amazing to me when I got into wrestling, like for the first time, like in a more hardcore way, to realize how many people reference pro wrestling randomly in their speeches. Or not speeches, but like in their conversations with people. Like YouTubers do it all the time. It is wild to me. But then again, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Like, most of the people that I watch, especially if they're like my age or older and doing YouTube, would have been around and alive and enjoying the Attitude Era, so... shouldn't be a surprise, I suppose. All right, last one. Yep, it's quite an early morning sometimes. It's not too bad though. Ooh. Thankfully, I tend to like go to bed a little earlier when I know I'm gonna do that, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Las cannons. Little tiny las cannons. Honestly, Robert, that's how I do it most of the time anyways. I very rarely will consistently watch like the week-to-week programming for most pro wrestling. The only time that I really like hardcore did that was the beginning of
Lockdown.
Yeah, I was gonna say was lockdown, when I honestly had the most time to, and there was just so much extra YouTube pro wrestling content to also engage with.
Dark.
I miss Dark too. I miss Dark. I miss all of the vlogs that all of the wrestlers used to do. Like, it is a genuine shame that those don't happen anymore. But I mean, I get it, and I also don't. I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. I get it, and I disagree. Because I know at least in AEW, what ended up happening is the more and more like older WWE stars that were coming in, and the more that like they got out of the COVID era of pro wrestling, like the directive started being like, hey, you can't film just randomly in the backstage anymore like you used to. And so it kind of crushed like everybody's narratives and everything that was happening, and it really just, they all started to disperse, and it made me sad. It's honestly one of the reasons that like AEW, in my opinion, has gone so downhill, is because there's just not that energy there anymore. Who are the current champs in AEW? Are any of them OG AEW people, or is it all ex-WWE people? Yeah, that's sort of my thing, is like I'll watch pro wrestling news, like Wrestle Talk, etc. But even that I don't follow as much as I used to, because like honestly, there's just so much. I kind of got burned out a little. But I do go try and watch the pay-per-views modernly. Not for AEW, unfortunately, because again, like narratively, they haven't been doing anything that's really drawn me back in, but I haven't looked super heavily of what they're doing right now. But all of like my favorite people are gone from the shows, so. Hell, a lot of them are gone from the company. The other big problem that I think AEW suffers from right now, and like I'm sure people can argue this, but like, okay, when AEW started, it was right around COVID, which meant that Tony Khan, the billionaire banking rolling it all, had nothing else to do because his other business was football, which was actually shut down. Like they weren't allowed to play. And they didn't do like empty stadiums like pro wrestling did. So he had nothing else to do. He was bored. Billionaires will throw a lot of money and a lot of energy at something if they're bored, because they have nothing else to do. And that energy and the cocaine is probably like burning a hole in their pocket, in their minds. So like I think Tony Khan really went hard into AEW in the beginning because he had no other outlet for all of that energy. But as soon as things started opening back up and he was able to focus on other things again, I think we saw a shift. And I think that is one of the reasons that I just don't know if like AEW is ever going to be the way that it was in those early days anymore, because I think the philosophy and the focus is just not the same. I mean, also the people aren't there anymore, but it's a real shame. Okay, so literally all of the champions right now in AEW are ex-WWE.
Yeah.
Because it's Moxley, Lashley, and Shelton.
Yep.
I'm assuming Shelton Benjamin.
Yep.
And then Mercedes.
Yep. I think TBS is Maria May.
I see, okay. Oh, Monet's TBS and the women's champ is Maria then?
Something like that.
Something like that? Okay. That's the point, though. My
Maria
point
also might just be the next, like, in line.
I see. Okay, well, my point is that, like, if the majority of your main champs right now, not even in considering your, like, you know, your triple tag team champion or, like, your like, mid-card ones, if all of your main belts are held by ex-WWE, like, people, that's my problem with AEW right now. Like, not to say that those people aren't talented and don't deserve those belts. Like, all of them are, okay? Very explicitly. And I love Moxley and Monet especially. Like, both of them are incredible. But I think it's very telling that it's just ex-WWE that are commanding the belts right now. And that makes me a little sad because, like, I like MJF and Jungle Boy. I know he's not called that anymore. Jack Perry. Like, I miss when Sonny Kiss was there. I miss Evil Uno and, like, just that entire... I miss all of Dark Order. Like, I know Dark Order's still around, but, like, I don't feel like they're pursuing anything actively as, like, a group or doing anything. And, in fact, I don't even... Like, Uno's gone. Stu, I think, is gone again. Because I know he came back briefly, but I don't think he stuck around for that long. Is Johnny and, oh my god, I always forget his name, but his beautiful friend, are they still around? Women's champ is Maria May? Okay. I mean, I know part of it was because of the loss of Brody Lee. So, like, I do, like, I get it. They had plans and they didn't end up, like, going through and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, yeah, I agree. They did. All right, where are my magnets? Where did I put those? I moved them, yes, over here because I didn't want them near electronics. Okay. You know, I don't remember now. I'll have to look at the battle report I was watching earlier. There was somebody, and they were the sponsor of the video. So it should be pretty easy to find. But there was somebody, a brand, that made Legion Imperialis specific magnets. Because I noticed one of the reasons I haven't actually finished magnetizing the Titan's arms is because I noticed as I was looking through them that not all, that's his head, sorry, not all of the holes, like all the gaps, are actually the same depth or size. And there were some really small, like some really, really extra small magnets that I saw in this kit. And I think I might look into getting those because I also am seeing that on these Lemur Russes because I want to, at minimum, I want to add weight to the tops so that they don't slip and slide out too much. But I'm noticing that this hole here is larger, or sorry, is smaller than my current magnet size. And I don't really, like, I'd rather have a magnet that just kind of slipped into that I could maybe make flush. And yeah, because I don't want to really trim too much of that. Okay. Something to consider. Chaos Cultist, I have one final question for you in regards to configuration for your tanks. I have options in regards to having characters sitting out the tops. There is an option.
Don't.
You don't want any of them to have any characters sitting out the top?
Nope.
Okay, so just all closed top.
Yep.
Okay.
My guards are not that stupid.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Also, I don't want to paint little guys on the tanks. I want the tanks to be my fun, easy project.
You know what? That is
actually like my real lazy logic for it.
No, that makes sense. I didn't know if you wanted to mark one as a commander or something like that, but you could just do that with colors, I'm sure. If you really wanted to.
Well, also for command, there aren't commanders in the squads.
Ah, okay. So it's literally just an aesthetic choice then.
Yeah,
I see.
If I need to do a command tank as a character thing, I'll figure that out later.
Okay, that is fine. That honestly saves me
I would probably
extra gluing, so.
Yeah, and I would probably do it as a different paint job anyway, just for visual differentiation.
That makes sense. All right, where is... Here it is. I was like, I know there has to be a fourth one. Surely they give you the option to... And they do. They just have it connect to the guy with the gun. Beep, 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 beep. My super tiny pieces are super tiny. And delicate. Well, they're not actually delicate. They're just kind of fiddly and they want to slip out of my hand. Oh, I don't know. I thought I saw that super chat, but I apologize if I missed it. Thank you so much. Honestly, I appreciate you saying that, considering that little red dress is like a $10 little thing that I think I bought ages ago. So thank you. Very much appreciate it. And you'll get to see more of it in tomorrow's video. Because tomorrow's Friday, and that's when the video is going out, right?
Yep.
Yes. So we have... dropping things. I built up my first Gunpla in a while. It's been about 2 years, I think, since I built any Gundam. Technically, the last Gundam that I built was not even a Gundam. It was a Zaku. You filthy liar. But, so I built up Wing Gundam, the Verka version. It's a master grade kit that is a little unique to some of the other Wing Gundam kits. And had a blast with it. The video should be going out tomorrow. Very excited for that. And you'll get to see it a little bit in that. We actually are trying a little bit of a different style for this particular video. We're going a little bit more in a classic vibe of a classic Gunpla vibe where it's mostly focusing on the build. It's a little less, I'm speaking through the whole thing, but you don't see me as often. And so we're going to see how that does. There we go. All right, the first cap is on. Go ahead and just put a little bit of glue in each of the top of those. All right, next one. Bam. In, and last one. Where would you find old instructions for Gundam kits? Your friends gave you the model kits from the 90s without the box?
Surely there are scans online.
I would imagine, yeah. Like, if you can figure out which kit it is, I imagine there's probably scans of a lot of the older ones online. Like, do you know, for example, like, if it was like an HG model, if it was a MG model, if it was a perfect grade model, like, do you know? And then, like, basically you would want to determine which of the grades you thought it was, and then obviously which Gundam it was, like its name, and then ideally you could probably type those in and hopefully find it.
You'd be down to less than half a dozen options.
Yeah, you would, yeah, and I figured, like, even if you don't find the exact one, honestly, I imagine you could probably start to figure it out. That's true. He could always paint the turret as a different commander if he did decide he wanted to indicate one. Exactly. All right. Well, the first of the Imperial Guard are built. We have 3. Oh, hold on. Let me focus on them. Whoop. 3 Legion Russ tanks. I'm gonna go grab my 40k scale Legion Russ. Hold on, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna turn this off for a second. I'll be right back. Let me grab that. All right, here he is. Yeah, the model for the 40k one, guys, I'm looking at it. It does not have the ability to pull anything. Okay. So, hello, Kenny. Welcome to the stream. Here is our 40k scale Legion Russ. Just realized I need a paint right there. There we go. Probably hides it now. Bam! Versus the 30k Legion Imperialis scale Legion Russ. Oh, it's so tiny. You know, I'm curious, since we found out earlier that the old 90s epic scale was in fact even smaller than what these ones are. I wonder if the tanks are smaller as well, or if it was just the infantry. Like, would a Legion Russ from the epic scale from the 90s be this exact same size, or would it be even tinier? So check out. I'm just trying to get my humongo fingers out of the way so you can see it. Oh, it's so cute. All right. We have about an hour left, so what should we work on next? Also, I'm just checking on... All right, still no notice or anything. That's good to know. All right, so this is just, I think technically this sprue is complete because it's just Legion Russ bits on there now. You know what? Let's go ahead and build the other 2 tanks that go in CC's army, because I feel like that'll be a little bit more achievable than like building a full squad of tiny, not Marines, tiny Imperial Guardsmen. Okay. Not gonna bother doing any cleanup yet because we're gonna just be doing a little shaving here in a minute anyways. So let's go ahead and build ourselves a Malcador, or at least as much of the Malcador as we can achieve in the remaining hour that we have before I call it, and probably head off to my P.O. box because hopefully my delivery is arriving. It says it's out for delivery, so I hope it makes it there in time. I know I have other things to pick up there, so regardless, it's not that big of a deal, but if I could get it all at once, that would be so. 2, 2, 2, 2. Where is the number 2? There it is.
Comes after 1.
If only GW actually labeled their sprues in such a logical way, that would, you know, have meaning. At least at least this one is just one of those ones where they reversed it. That's good. Or they flipped it. I do love when that happens, because it at least makes it a little easier to find everything. If I found one of them, I can find the other one. It's just... It was even smaller? Dang. It's wild. Too small. I think this is about as small as I'm comfortable going. Because if you go any smaller than this, I mean, like I've seen... We were just looking at some of the original epic scale, and like there's like no detail. And at that point, it's like, okay, well, what's the... Why bother? Why not just have them be cardboard cutouts or something? Or tokens or something like that, yeah. Like at this point, it just feels like a waste of plastic. Whereas this, there's actually still an impressive amount of detail on these damn things. The fidelity at which miniatures can be sculpted and scaled down at this point is kind of bonkers. And I don't think we appreciate it sometimes, like, as the consumer. The technology that has gone into creating a tank this tiny with that much detail. Have a great rest of your day. It was lovely to have you hang out with us, and tell your friend hello. Am I going to be streaming tomorrow? I think that I'll be streaming tomorrow. I know I will not be streaming on YouTube on Saturday, and I won't be streaming on Sunday. So I think I will be streaming tomorrow. More than likely, we'll be continuing to do some building. That'll probably be the infantry build day of all the guardsmen. And then we probably have one more stream after that that will be focused on at least building the Imperial, or I almost said Imperial Guard, my Legion Imperialis, or Legions Imperialis, because I want to get the Titans finished. But that might be... I need to see how quickly I can get those magnets that I want to look into. So that's going to be a factor there. But I think I'll be streaming tomorrow. I can't think of why I wouldn't be specifically, but I just have this like nagging feeling in the back of my head.
I have no idea why you wouldn't be streaming tomorrow.
I have no idea why I wouldn't be streaming tomorrow either, but it's just like there's, for some reason, like...
Because you were thinking about the filming for VIP that we already did?
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe...
Yeah. Well, you thought on Sunday you were going to be doing the extra stream.
That's true.
I'm confident we're streaming tomorrow with no problems.
Okay, I trust Chaos Cultist. So yeah. All right, there we go. It's looking good. All right, so how does this attach? Like that. Got it. Okay, that needs to be cleaned up more then. Careful of the little exhausts sticking extremely far out at the back. That's so much better. All right, let's check the other side, see how badly I did. What time? Oh, it won't be early tomorrow. When I stream tomorrow, it'll be at the normal time. It'll either be at 1 or 2 p.m. The only reason I did it early today is because I knew I was going to have to be going over to my P.O. box later into the evening, and I didn't want to overlap that, so I just went a little earlier today. But this was just sort of a happenstance of the needing to run to my P.O. box and it not being super, super close by. Which actually, now that I say that, let me take a look in what my traffic looks like right now. Because that is important. All right, it's looking like an hour at the moment. Okay, cool. The concern gets, the closer we get to evening, the more traffic. It's insane. Which is the main reason I wanted to do this early, is so that I didn't have to worry about that affecting content creation. It might affect my dinner tonight, but it might. That's about it. That is about it, and that's not too bad. I can deal with that. All right, that's looking pretty good. This is the bottom of the tank as well, so you don't have to worry too much, Angela. Okay. All right, did I clean up this one too? Not as well as I wanted. That's so much nicer looking. Okay, glue time. Glue. Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your day, Havman, and we'll see you later. Boop. All right. First part glued into place. All right, let's get the second one in. Bam. Love it. I love how much detail there is. Oops, hold on. Let me show you to this one. Focus. Like, you see on there, there's just so much little detail on this piece that's going to get partially covered by a bunch of things. It's so cool. Okay. 3 and 4, are they the same? There's 4. They're the same. And let's get that. Thankfully, these had a single point of attachment, which is kind of surprising for as large of a piece as this actually is. Like, it's pretty substantial to only have one sprue connection. But in England? Like, are you still, like, on, like, cobble or something then, or? What do you mean the roads around here were built for horses and carts, literally? Is that what you mean?
I mean, yeah, a lot of British roads are a few hundred years old.
That makes sense.
If you're out in, like, a village or something.
Got it. Ah, this is how it goes on. I understand. Okay, so we need to... Okay, I do need to clean that up a bit more. Ah, okay. I think I found out the other day how, like, big England was compared to, I think it was, like,
The state of Georgia.
Yeah, it's about the same size as the state of Georgia. And it made me guffaw that people in the UK, I have heard, like, complain about the distance of themselves to the nearest GW store, like the Manchester one or whatever, like the big one, the Warhammer World. And I'm like, what do you mean it takes, like, who cares? It's a couple hour drive, maybe at most. Like, I could drive across the state of Georgia in like a day. What are you complaining about?
You can drive across the state of Georgia in about 8 hours.
Yeah, I could drive against the state of Georgia. I could do a loop of Georgia in
20 hours.
In 20 hours. Like, I don't understand why this is such a huge deal for some people, and it just made me laugh. It was just a perspective thing, because, like, the U.S. is huge. I've done cross-country on the U.S., and that takes days to do.
Yep, she hitched up the old wagon, got the horses all fed up, and they set up on all that Oregon Trail, because that's what Angela used to do. She used to set out from the East Coast, and they were setting out west. Now, let me tell you, they spent way too much money on ammunition. They bought way too much bullets. They got way too much buffalo meat, and it ended up spoiling. It was terrible. Her sister got cholera. There was a broken wheel. People drowned. It was terrible.
I think you're talking about a video game.
I can't tell anymore.
That's what I mean! Texas is like double the size of England. They should just be able to drive to Manchester and go to Warhammer World whenever you damn well want, is what I'm saying. Don't complain about it. You Englander people who actually have it in your, I almost said state, but it's a country. Listen, I want to go, and so whenever people are like, it's such a far distance, and I'm like, no, it's not. Your country's the size of Georgia. The state of Georgia, not the country of Georgia. I actually don't know how large you are compared to the country of Georgia. Probably, I actually don't know. How big is Georgia, the country?
Not that big.
Okay. All right, we're glued. Da-da-da. I'm gonna switch back over to top down for a bit. 8 stops away, FYI. Really? Oh my god, yes. Okay. Well, that's very exciting. Oh my gosh. Yee. Ah. That was my excited dance. That was really more my excited flailing. The excited dance looks a little different. There's a lot more gyrating and wiggling.
True.
It's very inappropriate for YouTube, actually. 6 and 5, 6 and 5, 6 and 5. Cool, they're identical. Or they're labeled the same. Why do you do that, GW? Why do you label some of them the same and some of them not?
Confuse you.
No, to piss me off is what it is.
Same thing.
Okay, no, pissing me off and confusing me are two different things.
Historically, not really. God
damn it, you're probably correct, but I don't like that you're correct.
That's part of it.
Damn it! You know me too well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that looks good. These are the 5s. How big is Australia compared to some of the states in the U.S.? I actually don't know.
Quite large, but like the perspective on the map makes it weird, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, like I actually don't know, like how, because, okay, so Commander HHL, you're saying that it takes 2.5 days to get through the state of Texas. And Australian replies, yeah, we've got slow trains as well. So that would logically say to me that Australia is larger than Texas, I think. Definitely. I don't know, it looks like it's bigger than Texas. Two hours is a long drive in the UK. 200 years is a long time in the US.
He's right.
Okay, I mean...
Within our own history, yes.
I guess?
I get it.
I mean, 200 years is like the only time we have, because that's all we've been around for.
That's why it's short.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, I don't consider that a long time, though. So, am I just taking...
No.
Okay, I think I'm just taking it too literally or something. I'm being dense.
Yeah.
I'm having an Angela moment of not comprehending. It's just a joke about the big country.
It's about the percentage of the country's time, Angela.
I see. Okay. I understand. Okay, so the fives are those ones. Where do you go? You go on... So this faces this way, and it goes on this side. Oh, like inset like that? Okay. Interesting. This is a very interesting tank build. It's way more vertical than I feel like I would have anticipated. All right, so that's in there. Let's go ahead and get the other side in. Okay. Which should be this one, going this direction. There we go. Sort of squeeze them together. Love it. Okay, looks good. Any place on Australia is at least 800 miles from any other place. Wow. That I could believe. Like, if you were to lay Australia over top of another location, though, just because, like, I'm a very visual person when it comes...
You gotta remember, like, 95% of the outback is uninhabited.
Well, yeah, no, I understand. I completely get that. Like, I know that it's not, like, an exact, like... But I'm kind of curious. Like, I know it's not filled with people in the same way that, say, like, some of these other locations you might be laying over top of it are. But I'm just kind of, like... For a scale purpose, though, because I do feel like Australia is always looks way bigger on a map than I think it actually is, but I don't know if that's true. The roads are just going to destroy your car. Well, that I could absolutely believe. I mean, like, all of the dust and, like, sand in Australia... 100% I could believe that. All right, let's go back over here. So this is where I'm at with the Malkador. Got the sides glued on. I believe this is the back exhaust. So looking pretty good. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I think let's... Okay, we have the front, so number 7 to clip out. So this one here. And then this one on this side. And then 8. So let's go ahead and get both of those out.
Thank you for building.
Oh yeah, no problem. I like building things. Like, I'm slow about it sometimes, but I enjoy the process, so. It's no problem. That would be terrifying to me. I don't know if I could actually do that. Driving like so long in the outback where you don't see other lights from other vehicles, and so you're just in pitch blackness. Like, do the highways through the outback like have a lot of lighting?
No.
I imagine they wouldn't, right? Like, so how dangerous is it with like hitting animals and stuff if you're driving out late at night? Like,
I'm pretty sure it happens a lot.
yeah, like, are you like are kangaroo like
Marsupials. Kangaroo strike.
That's what I'm wondering, like, how often, like, okay, in the US and Canada, it is often a problem in certain areas of the country to just have your car destroyed by moose being in the road, okay? Or like a deer wildly whipping out in front of you and like just obliterating your car. Do you have the same problem with kangaroos in Australia? Like, do they get so frightened that they will panic and run into the roads, or are they smart enough that they actually avoid them? I'm curious. Well, that's what, and like, well, and I also don't know how, like, I don't know how skittish they are, because they're a bit more aggressive than like a deer would be. Like, moose are aggressive. Like, they'll fuck your shit up, but like, and I know a kangaroo can. Like, I would not want to box a kangaroo. People joke about like, I can take a kangaroo. No, you fucking can't. It's a kangaroo. You not seen them? Boxing things? Like, holy cow. Get your freaking head blocked off. What is a roos or a Ross? You had a big red wipe out dad 4x4? Commander HHL, I think you're gonna have to explain what the hell you just said, because I don't... When driving at night in the outback, you'll drive for hours... Okay, so I read that one correctly. What is a Ross or a Roos? Or is it... Oh, a Roo. Oh, I see. Roos. Got it. Okay, so you do have to pay attention to kangaroos. So they'll just run into traffic in the same way like a deer or a moose would. It's terrifying. Cause like, I just can't imagine, cause they're tall, aren't they? Like, aren't kangaroos like taller than like the average male? Like, I know sometimes they're like haunched or whatever, but like they can, like when they're upright and like standing, like they're gonna punch your and like block you out. So like, God, I could not imagine running into one with my car. Mr. Mr. Fahid, you're from the UK and you want to become a board game enthusiast like you. Thanks for the great content. Well, it's absolutely my pleasure, and thank you so much for the £20 donation. Really, really appreciate that. You were wonderful. And have you, I know that there are like board game cafes and stuff that are pretty popular in the UK. I mean, I don't know where in the UK you are, But I know in London, I believe there is a great board game cafe called Draughts, which might be, I think it's isn't it Draughts? Isn't that where Norrell's Bard used to do their filming?
Yes.
Yeah, like drafts or draughts?
I thought I pronounced it drafts.
Okay, drafts. Okay, but so like that might be, I don't know where you are in, like I said, the UK, but if you want a good board game spot, I know that one is a good one. I was gonna say, I thought they weighed more than humans. Because I thought they were just like, I was like, so my impression of kangaroos is they're just dense muscle. Just like a bunch of dense muscle. And I don't know if that is like fully accurate, but that's my impression of them. At minimum. I guess my point is, if I met a raccoon, a kangaroo, if I met a kangaroo in real life, I would not want to mess with it. I would be like, goodbye, Mr. Kangaroo. You're in the road. You can have this road. It's totally your road. I'm gonna go over here off the road. You can have this. Congratulations. Enjoy your space. Because I wouldn't want to mess with the kangaroo. Are sugar gliders native to Australia? Yes. Draughts, yeah, you're spelling it correct, Mr. Fahid. I'm pretty sure you are. Let me confirm. Yep. Yes, so Draught, it's a Waterloo restaurant in London. It's a game cafe and game bar. Highly recommend that if you want a good place in the UK, specifically in London, where there's supposedly, from my understanding, a pretty strong board game community. If you are familiar with No Rules Bard, when they were first getting started, partially because of the connections I think Adam had with that particular space, because I think he used to work there or something like that, from my understanding, or at minimum, like frequented the space. But they used to do filming there. I don't believe they do that anymore. I think they expanded their studio just as a whole. Like I think Russell Talk did as a whole. And so now I think they're filming in that same space for both of or for all of their content. But that doesn't mean that the cafe doesn't still rock. So feel free to check that out. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Which phone? Oh, you mean this? I have a very huge phone. It's the iPhone 16 or whatever.
No.
Not what number are we on?
I think you have like a 12.
Is it a 12? I don't think.
You have like a 12X or something.
I don't remember.
It should be under the about information.
That's what I'm looking at. General about 13. I have an iPhone 13, sorry.
I was close.
You were closer than I was. But it's just an iPhone 13. But it is huge. I am small. I mean, I'm not really, I actually feel like I'm very average height for an American female, but I'm a bit wee. Did I? Oh, okay, I didn't actually stick that in. Boop, boop, boop. All right, there we go. Let's get the other one in. Nice, easy placement. I love how much detail they put on the bottoms of these tanks when you're never going to see them. Like, look at all that paneling that they put on the bottom of this tank. You're never going to see that. But I appreciate them doing it. It makes it feel complete. Yeah, it's the Pro Max. Surely there's some very large Australian spiders, though. Are like, do you guys have banana spiders? I assume you do. I actually don't know. Do bananas grow in Australia? What are those really big, like, so in Guam, which is where I was born, there was banana spiders and they were fucking huge. And apparently there was like one in my like child bedroom at one point. I don't really remember or care because I was an infant and it mattered not to me that there was a big spider in my room, but my parents apparently freaked out. I think my mom specifically freaked out. I think my dad was like, it's fine. We'll get rid of it. Calm down. But I assume you have some really big ass spiders in Australia. Oh no, you got dust under your screen on your tablet? That sucks. That's true. At least the tanks do have bottoms. You're right. Wait, have you built a tank like from Games Workshop that hasn't had a bottom to it?
Old ones didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's wild. Oh, like, were they at least metal so that they had a bit more weight to them without having a bottom? Or were they like resin? Come on. There we go. A little bit. Flash really did not want to release itself. Too. Okay. Sir Abomination G, everything is going quite well. We're just building some super tiny little tanks. Currently, we are working on some Malcadors for the Auxilia Solaris, because I'm trying to practice saying their fancy name. For my Imperial Guardsmen. Aren't drop bears a, like... Hold on. Pause a moment, because I thought this was like... There's a game. Hold on. Where... Do I have you out? No. Are you... Where did I put you? Where's that box? My koala bear. You know the one that I... You know...
That is downstairs in the closet, I think.
Ah, okay. Do you know if the sculpt is in there, or do you... I think it is. I don't think it's out right now.
It's in a red box, right?
Well, yeah, I think it's like in a reddish brown box.
Okay.
With like a sleeve over it that had the koalas in it. I thought it was out somewhere, but maybe it's not. I'm just checking off screen real quick, chat.
Downstairs in the pantry.
Oh, you know, is it in the pantry? Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna go grab it, because I think I have something called what you're talking about. And I want to check. Also, I want to see how far this will, like, carry me. If I'm talking all the way down here, can you guys still hear me? Also, Kita, calm down. It's fine. I'm just walking past you. My cat freaked out as I walked past her on the stairs. She was like, what is going on? Why are you being so loud, Mom? Ah, ah. All right, is it down here? Yes, there you are. Hey, it is called a drop bear. You guys tried to tell me this wasn't real, but I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong right now. I have no idea if he's in here. It doesn't feel like he's in here. I don't feel like there's enough weight in this for him to be in here. Good. But don't tell me. Okay, don't lie to me, chat. Don't lie to me that drop bears don't exist, because what is this? What is this if not a drop bear? Huh? Huh? Drop bears. All right, let's actually see if she's in here. Because she should be. You can hear me, but we won't know until you get back. That's sure good. See, they're totally real. Where are you in here? Did I repack you into this when we moved? Hey, I did! Dun, 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 dun. Drop bears! So don't be telling me. Don't be telling me that they don't exist. They exist. And they're ferociously cute. This was actually sent to me a couple years ago, and I haven't had the balls to paint it yet. Although I think it'd be really fun because all this fur texture is delightful. But this was actually sent to me by a fan who lives in Australia, and I think he actually works on this game. Because this is not just a cool miniature that you can order, and I do believe they're still available, but it actually, I believe, is part of a game. Although, I say that and this doesn't... Okay, what is a drop bear? Dangerously mistaken for the common koala. And then it gives me the scientific name for a koala, which I am not going to attempt to pronounce. A drop bear is, in fact, an aggressive and carnivorous predator, notably larger and more muscular than even a koala, covered in wiry, coarse fur, reddish eyes, pronounced teeth, and claws are always a noticeable difference between these species. Park rangers and wildlife experts advise correct and quick identification of these animals as vital survival information. So just know your difference between a drop bear and a koala, okay, everybody? Just be very careful. Drop bears clearly have sharper teeth, wiry hair, bigger claws, and they're physically larger than your average koala. They also will probably see you and immediately maul your face. So don't be telling me they don't exist, because they do. There wouldn't be products based off them if they didn't. Paint lots of blood on it and use it for Halloween. Oh my god, yes, that'd be perfect. They are the world's angriest koala bears, yes. What's great, actually, can I show you the inside of this without... No, I'd have to open it up. So, okay, yes, there is a game that goes with it. So it's a game that's called... I think it's just called Drop Bears. I think the game is called, yeah, Drop Bears Survival Series Chapter 1. So I do think there's a game that goes with it. There are some expansions that include some additional beautiful furry guys. Oh my god, one of them, okay. You can kind of see it. Oh, I can do this. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so you see on the back there's some expansions. Do you see that? This one? Oh, hold on, other side. Other side. This guy here. You see how that guy is definitely holding a human in his hand? Look how giant that koala is. It's so good. So good. All right, but yeah, so drop bears do exist. Don't lie to me. So I'm gonna have to message the guy that sent that to me and be like, oh my god, I got to reference drop bears today. And I got to pull out the mini you sent me. Thank you. He'll be thrilled. Dude. Okay, this koalas made me think of this, and I don't know why. I was on Instagram, and I saw, you know how like occasionally GW like posts those things where it's like a 9x9 of close-ups of a variety of different miniatures, and it's like, how are you feeling out of these faces? What represents how you're feeling today? And it was like, I think it was for how your 2025 was going or whatever. They made, you know, the stupid frog in the try not to laugh videos that I did that always makes me laugh. The one that like they put the Dawn of War like barks to. GW sculpted that fucking frog and put it on somebody's shoulder. And I'm so angry that I didn't know about it until now. Because I kind of want that model just for that stupid frog. Because now I saw it and like the only thing I could think of was just it shouting the stupid barks and just killing everybody with laughter on the battlefield. It was so good. The internet is a dumb place. This one bit of flash does not want to remove itself from this piece, and I refuse to accept that. There you go. Get off there. Beautiful. Okay. We're clean now. Everything's good. What time is it? We've got 10 minutes. All right. Aha. I see where these go in. Okay. Which direction do they go, though? They face with the curved going in. So, like, let's do a little dry fit. So, like that. Yep. All right. Let's go. Let's switch back over to this. RJ, we are doing quite well. How are you doing today, sir? Hopefully delightfully. We're just working on a little bit of Imperial Legionalis. I'm going to be ending in not too long. Sorry for you to just have got here and for me to be going soon, but I have a couple errands I need to run. I have a delivery happening today that's, I really hope, in fact, does happen, and I can take care of it, and it'll be awesome, and it's going to be so cool. I'm so excited. I'm also very liking this Malkador tank. It's so fancy. It's so cool. That's why Malkador let his name be put on it. He's like, all right, that one's pretty rad looking. I'll claim that one. You know, I know there's some weapons that are like the Emperor's whatever. But are there tanks? Like, is there a Emperor tank? I know there's the Emperor class Titan. Is that like the only thing we get? That the Emperor decided to put his title on? I guess the Primarchs ended up doing that more than the Emperor did, didn't they? Why is the Leman Russ called a Leman Russ? Was it named after the Primarch, or was the Primarch named after the tank? I actually don't know. Stuff in your life is super fucked right now? Well, no, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope things get better for you. Know that optimism, I do think, is a powerful tool. And if you believe that things are going to change and turn around more positively for yourself, I do believe that is the truth. So it is my personal opinion to keep your chin up, carry forward, and don't let it bring you down too much. Like, not to say that you can't, you know, feel bad about things, or hell, take some time to cry if you need to about it, or whatever else, like whatever thing you need to do to emotionally make yourself feel a little bit better. I think that's okay to still do, but I think it's good to not give up hope and to lose faith that things are going to get better for yourself, because the minute that you let that disappear, I genuinely think you kind of fuck yourself on making it much, much more difficult to get out of that mindset, which then can keep you in a negative state for longer. So just my recommendation, obviously don't need to follow or anything, but I do think it's something worth considering because things will always improve. And I'm just somebody who believes that. And so I hope things get better for you. It was named after the Primarch? Okay. Do you know why it was named after the Primarch? Like, why?
Cool.
Okay, that's a subjective opinion. I mean, Lehman Russ is pretty cool, I suppose. But, like, why, though? You just had your first 40k miniatures. So you just had your first 40k miniatures 25 delivered today. A Necron monolith. You're already intimidated by it.
Yeah, that's a master level model.
Yeah, I mean, if that's one of your first two, like, that you've been, like, working on and such, then power to you. That is a big boy to work on. But honestly, like, I also can just see you having a lot of fun with something like that. Because, like, monoliths are such a big structure that you can end up base coating it in a single color, even with like a rattle can if you don't have like an airbrush, if you're not like somebody who's comfortable with that, which is totally fine because I personally am not either. And I rattle can prime most of my things. So you could just like rattle can prime it and then do some like fun like dry brushing with some metallics or other color tones to weather it. Do a lot of your little detail stuff with the little like all, because I know like the monolith has like a lot of like engravings in it and such, because all of the Necron stuff does that, right? So that's when you can start playing with some like fun colors and maybe doing a little bit more detail work. But I feel like you could get some really cool effects very easily without a lot of like advanced techniques quickly on a monolith without it being as intimidating as you might feel like it is. But like, just keep in mind that you should always take your time. If you feel like you're struggling, take a break. That is okay. And there are always going to be some form of guide online, whether it be in written or video form or image form, however, that'll probably give you some additional guidance if you really feel like you're struggling. And then when you get to the painting process, oh my God, you'll find plenty of tutorials. Even if it's not specifically on a monolith, there will be techniques that you will be able to listen to, absorb, and then apply to your monolith, even if the artist who is giving you the instructions isn't necessarily painting that particular item themselves. But if you like a particular color scheme or aesthetic for, say, your Necrons, and you want to follow that, maybe you saw somebody do a tutorial on their warriors, and you want to like adapt that to your monolith, you could still follow the same techniques and guides and just apply it to a little bit of a larger scale. And I think you'll be able to be very successful and probably very pleased with your results. So I look forward to seeing what you're going to do. Good, RJ. I'm really glad to hear that. Continue to be hopeful, because I genuinely think that has power to be able to help keep your mind going forward in a positive direction so that you don't let yourself wallow in whatever struggles you may be dealing with. And it's totally valid that you are dealing with struggles too. And to anybody out there who is dealing with anything, everybody does, and it's okay that we do. Like, don't get yourself down by feeling like things are hard and you might see other people not seemingly struggle. Because a lot of the stuff that you see people post online is the best of their worlds, and they very much curate it. So we all struggle, and it's okay, and we all get to move forward. And a lot of times we help each other with it. That's what these communities are for, right? That's why I love it so much. Okay, we are basically at our wrapping up point. We've been going for about 4 hours, about 5 minutes until we close. I'm just gonna go to full face and we will conclude there. We have our Malcadors about halfway built. These actually are, of all of the tanks that I've built for Legion Imperialis so far, the Malcadors I feel like are actually the most complex. They also are the most unique in their shape compared to any of the other ones. Like, honestly, they look like they have, do they not kind of look like they are like a snowplow right now because of the little, whatever these are? I don't actually know what this is structurally. Like, I almost thought it was a toe thing like previously, but it really looks more like it's kind of like a ski. Maybe it's part of the treads? I don't know, but it's like, they just look so snowmobile to me. I kind of love it. But they're not obviously finished. They will, yeah, we won't see that as much once the treads go on, but it does appear to be something just like at the back It also looks like we're gonna end up putting a big tank thing. Maybe it's to help support the fuel. Maybe that's what it's there for. I have no idea. But I really, really enjoyed this. Hello, Luke. Thank you. I am so glad that you have been enjoying the stream. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and they are snowmobiles. They really are. Yes. Oh my gosh, the B positive gang sign from Flash Kits. You know, I am not unconvinced that that's not just them throwing up like actual gang signs.
That's the reference, yeah.
Right? Like, because it's referencing like the Bloods and the Crips, right?
If the Bloods ever had a thing where they spelled blood with their hand.
I don't know either. Also, I like, before I realized, like, and this was not on camera or anything, but off camera, I was sitting there like trying to do it in the same way that Chestnut was in the episode. And like, holy shit, the way that you have to bend your fingers in order to even remotely attempt to make those letters is just arthritic feeling. And which I also think was partially the point, and I love it. Like, it's just, I appreciate on so many levels. I forget their names off the top of my head. I think one of them's name is Dan, but I don't remember the other one's name. Tom? Is that who it is? Is it Dan and Tom? Is that the name of the Flash Kits? But the two gentlemen that run Flash Kits, so good. I think I hear one of my cats having a little bit of a hairball, so I'm gonna go take care of that and then head out to my P.O. box where I'm hopefully going to be picking up some very lovely gifts. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you all enjoyed our very varied conversation. And I will see you all tomorrow, either between 1 or 2 p.m. So Pacific Standard Time, because that's where I am. All right, guys, see you later. Have a good one, and make sure to have a lovely hobby night. Bye.